All right, welcome everyone to the second/third Monday podcast. I am your host Peter, and welcome to the UncleTalks live stream. And I'm here with my co-host Rainier.
Hello, hello. Welcome to the totally second Monday of the month, right?
Right. So how you doing, Rainier?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm all right. Can't complain. I gotta start preparing for a convention. I gotta go this week. So.
Ooh, which convention?
Anime NYC. So that's gonna happen this upcoming weekend. So I'm pretty stoked about that. So yeah. So there's.
Is it still in the Javits Center up in Manhattan?
Yes, I think it's still in the Javits Center in Manhattan. Apparently, Kenjiro Suda is gonna come this year.
Kenjiro Suda.
Suda Kenjiro.
Tell us about him.
I think he played Seto Kaiba in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know what other characters he's played. I know he's played a lot though. He has a long list, and he's also a live-action actor as well. So, if you guys are familiar with Suda Kenjiro, I'm pretty sure. The man needs no introduction if you actually know who I'm talking about. He has an awesome, he's practically not only good looking but also an awesome voice actor. I think plenty of anime fans are familiar with his work. But anything new with you, Rainier?
Let's see. Same old so far. I'm trying to figure out to recycle some stuff. As in, I got a lot of old clothes and books I wanna kind of get rid of from my place.
Oh, really?
So I'm looking for a recycling center or a place I could donate to.
Oh, okay. I mean, that sounds like something you can that sounds like something that's not arduous, but dang, I can't think of the word.
It's a one-by-one process. My wardrobe, for example, has accumulated over the years.
Maybe you can donate the books to the library.
Library, maybe. Some of them are just mangas, but I don't know if libraries will take those exactly, but
maybe. You never know.
But yeah, I wear the same clothes every day for I have maybe a month rotation of clothes. And then the rest I don't wear, so I think I should just.
I'm the same way, bro. When I go out, I probably have more winter wear than summer wear if I were to go out. I think summer wear I would probably wear one or two t-shirts that are meant for just going out clothes. And the rest is practically what I wear to stay home.
That's funny thing that you mentioned winter wear. I wear winter clothes even during the summer. I have long sleeves. I'm actually wearing a long sleeve right now.
Yeah, I can count the amount of time. I can count not even my whole my whole hand. I can count how many drawers I use, and I have a dresser that's 6 drawers, and my bed has a dresser underneath, so it has 3 drawers. Now I only use 3 with 3 fingers, 3 drawers out of all those. I'm not even counting my closet.
Wow.
And I'm wow, I don't use any of these clothes at all.
Yeah, exactly. And I feel like they're just sitting in there. I need to just free up some space. But
that's the hard part to do. Is declutter, right?
I'm gonna take a small mini vacation next weekend.
Oh, nice.
Or this coming weekend, rather. And it's just for my brother. My brother wants to go to Nebraska and Iowa just so they can they could check off I've been to this state and this state.
Oh, okay.
So
okay. Yeah, because I think the thing of it is that when you're young you want to travel, and when you travel, I mean not all people, but a lot of people probably say if you ask every young person, there's oh, there's this one place I want to go to, even though they're might be a homebody like me. There's always that one single place that they just want to go to once, and then they're okay, I'm done. Because for me, for me, I'm not really much for traveling, but at the same time, it's like
Mm-hmm.
if I were to go to Japan, I would be like, yeah, that's the one place I would want to go to.
You gotta like list aside of like places like pilgrimage
Yeah.
sites that you want to go to Japan, and you like hit as much as you can. Like,
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Like, I would just want to go to Japan, and probably it would be like once, and I would be satisfied. If I made friends, if I'm lucky enough to make friends there, which is very unlikely, but if I was, I'd be like, yo, like, I'm grateful that I have friends there, but at the same time, I'm like, yo, why you want me to come back here twice? That's like
Yeah.
basically my mindset. Is like, dang, now I gotta come back here twice because you're here.
There's a couple of places I want to go to in Japan that I want to definitely hit. Yeah, that's and then my list. I'll probably go next year.
Okay.
It's mostly hiking places,
Yeah.
but I want to try to go there and check it out.
Would you bike through Japan?
I would too, yeah. Cycling has always been something in my mind.
Yeah.
When I first went there, I was like considering going to like the Sendai area
Yeah.
and like renting a bike there and just like
Uh-huh.
biking around there, but you know, didn't materialize.
Yeah, I think it would probably be a good place to bike through. Like
I did
in
hike.
Japan.
I did hike Mount Takao, which is nice. Because it's like a lot of these hiking places are very accessible by train,
Yeah.
so it just makes it so good.
Yeah, I mean, like, Japan is like a very good commuter country when you think about it.
Right.
It's not like the States where like everything's covered by nothing but highway.
Yep, nothing but highway and
That's
cars
like
everywhere.
that's like why my friends are like, yeah, like Peter, I understand like people won't drive in the future that much, but at the same time, like you can't take the car out of America, and I'm like, yeah, there is no way to take the car out of America, but I really want them to make self-driving taxis so I don't have to worry about owning a car. Like you know, like Waymo and stuff. I think that's what it's called, right? Like
Yep,
the Waymo
Waymo.
taxis. Yeah, like their cars look kind of goofy, but at the same time, I know why they have it. Like, you know, with the cameras on it and stuff. But at the same time, it's like if it drives by itself and is very safe, then I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll go with that. But then like,
Right.
there's always that like scenario in like those TV dramas, like especially cop dramas, where it's like, oh, someone hacked it from like some random laptop, and then everyone's like in chaos and stuff. But at the same time, it's like, you know, I think that's the reason why blockchain technology is becoming such a big thing, because it's like we don't have to worry about hacks like that, but we still have to worry about hacking. But at the same time, it's not to the extent where it's like basic computer hacking, like from a central server, you know.
Right.
So, you know, I feel as if like technology is going to advance, and like I think like, I mean, that's a good thing or a bad thing, because like some people don't like it when technology advances too fast, but at the same time, it's like, you know, what is progress in the human perspective, I think.
Yeah. Well, one day, going back to traveling, I hope you get to Japan one day.
One day, yeah, hopefully. I mean, like, the thing of it is that I still, like, when I think about it, right, like, when I reflect on it, it's like, even if I don't go to Japan, like, and I live my life and to become an old man, like, I think about it, I'm like, would I have any regrets or anything? And I'd be like, well, I didn't get to go to Japan. Like, I wouldn't think of it as a regret. It's like I kind of wanted to see it, but like, it's one of those things where like my heart is like, it's like parlay on it. It's like, it would be nice to go, but at the same time, it's like, I'm not like gonna push myself to like, oh, I gotta go at no matter the cost, you know, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
For me, I would see myself more likely to think of like mastering differential equations and partial differential equations much faster than just like trying to set up a trip to Japan, you know.
Okay, makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have your own passions. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it's within reach. Like, I think it's whatever's in reach, you know.
You don't want to cycle in Japan, like
I mean, like, the thing with me is that when I go to Japan, I probably want to make it like, you know, I would probably make the trip like, not extravagant, but like sort of like a trip that I know I'm only going to take once. So I'm like, no, I'm not going to sit in economy. I want to make it business class so I have my own suite and I can sleep properly.
Interesting. I see.
So for me, it's like, I'd rather like make it so that the trip is comfortable, not that not that I'm gonna like do what everybody does and just they don't rush it, but they do it in a way that's like economically savvy. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for me, it's like I want to at least be able to splurge a little bit, at least with the flight. So that's the way I envision it. So like if I'm gonna go to Japan, it's not like I'm gonna go to the expensive places, but it's more like the flight. I'd rather go big or go home. You know?
Yep, I hear you.
Yeah. So that's just me because I would like to actually sit on a flight where I can actually lay down while I sleep.
Who was the person that did the cycle across Japan? It's
I think it was Connor.
Connor, and
I think Chris Broad.
Chris Broad, yeah.
Yeah, Chris Broad. They did that, and I think like with Trash Taste, they tried to do it in Tokyo, but they didn't succeed in it. I think like walking is good enough. I don't want to bike because apparently you need an app to tell you where to park your bike, and if someone steals your parking spot, then it's like, oh man, I gotta ride another place to find a parking spot. But I really would like to experience the convenience of Japan. That I think will blow my mind, because like I think in the States, right? Like I think since both of our parents are from like Asian countries, we would hear our parents complain about like, oh man, typical American people, they don't know how to give good service. Like I bet you heard that line a couple of times from your parents.
Yeah, it's just like American workers are slow.
Like my dad, like whenever like you need something like big professional done, like windows or something, he would look at it, and if it's not up to his standards, he'd be like, man, typical American people. It's like not professional at all. Now, of course, like like I think it's because we Americans are so used to like customers being customers and workers being workers that we kind of like hold it as if, oh, we're not gonna expect anything much. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, it's like this is not an insult to people that were born in the States and work hard. Like this is not an insult to people that are in the what do you call it, customer service and stuff. But at the same time, it's like people in customer service, they know full too well, like the people that seem like entitled for service. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like I feel bad. I feel bad for because I guess for us and like working like part-time jobs in America, it's like it feels as if like, yeah, I'm doing this to. I think it's like we approach it with a mindset. It's like, oh, I'm doing this because I generally want to become a millionaire one day. And I know I will be looking back and saying like, oh, I started out as a person that worked in 7-Eleven. Oh, I started out as a person that worked in the movie theater for like 6 years until I made my big break and I actually made millions or something. Now, of course, like not many people will be like, think of it that way. But like in the back of every American's mind, you probably, that is there. That's there in our heads. It's like we use this job as a stepping stone instead of saying, hey, we're doing this job. Some of them is to survive, and I get that, but like a lot of Americans that are very ambitious, they really think of it as sort of like, oh, I'm using this as a stepping stone because one day I'm going to make millions one day. Or something to that degree.
Pretty much, huh?
Yeah. But I don't know if that mindset has helped us as like a society for very long. I mean,
it's just like a chasing profit kind of thing, or chasing.
Yeah. I feel it's like.
Versus just like doing the service as part of like a duty.
I feel as if with the States, it's sort of like we really want to glorify rich people. We really do. We really do. And that's and the thing of it is that I know there are some kind rich people out there. Like there are some rich people that do have integrity, but at the same time, it's like either you're rich and you look down on the poor for like people that like obviously not all rich people are gonna look down on the poor, like they're in a bad situation and stuff, but at the same time it's like they don't want to give away all their wealth to like everybody else. You get what I'm saying? They want to be charitable, but at the same time it's like they don't want to be charitable to the point where it brings them to ruin. You get what I'm saying? And they feel like a lot of people that just don't know what it's like to run a business are saying that, hey, you're going to drain yourself dry because you're actually draining us dry. so we're gonna take the spoils of your labor. And like, you know, not all poor people are trying to expect the rich to pay them everything, you know? Like
Right.
it's not like every poor person is trying to be like arguing that the rich are stealing everything from them and expecting them to give them like all their hard work and hard-earned like money, you know? And it's really confusing, you know, because like because I mean, I used to think that way. I used to think that like there's just a conspiracy where it's like the rich are trying to buy off leaders, and the leaders are trying to like put policies that benefit like corporations and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, like I can't really say that that's not true, but at the same time, I cannot say that that's all true. And I think that's the thing that, like, I guess on the internet we have to experience. It's like we want to put ourselves in like this mindset where it's like everything makes sense because this thing seems to be a partial truth. Where in actuality, it's not the whole truth, but we're gonna go with it anyway because it fits my worldview.
Sure, yeah.
I mean, what do you think about that?
We're just confident in the worldview that we harbor, right? Or like
Yeah.
our peers harbor.
Yeah.
So, but definitely, do you think that there is some truth to like, it's more like the rich people feel like they got there through like, well, I guess I don't know if the rich people think this, but I guess society in America thinks it, right? Where it's like they got rich because they were talented, or they pulled themselves up by their bootstraps, kind of deal.
Yeah.
Like it's all them, like the individual.
Yeah.
It's not that like you're a product of your environment. Well, which I would argue it's both. It's just that we
Yeah, it's
always
both.
just look at the individual as if society didn't exist around them that made them
Yeah.
rich, right? And not just society, I'm also thinking about the laborers, right?
Yeah.
The workers, the people who technically made the money with him. It's just that person, that rich person,
Yeah.
ended up like getting more cut of the pie.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think like getting back to it, it's sort of like you were in the right place at the right time, but you had this idea and you really wanted to go with this idea, and you were like I think lucky is a too strong word, but I can't think of another word that actually I think
I mean,
good-
it's both. It's luck.
Yeah, it's
what's it?
both, yeah.
Opportunity.
it's good
opportunity,
timing.
luck.
It's just good timing of it.
Yeah,
Because like
yeah,
some people have a good idea, but their timing was so off that they missed it, and they are still in their 9-to-5 job. You know.
I mean, you look at like the VTubing industry as an industry, and like the
Yeah.
timing during COVID when
Yeah.
they exploded was just like, it was like good. It was like a natural thing, but also like there were already seeds planted in the VTubing like community in general,
Yeah.
and that when COVID happened, it was almost like a perfect timing.
Oh yeah, I agree. And I think like a service will make itself available, and when people think like, oh, this is not gonna go, it's not gonna be successful, it's not gonna be like high in demand, but then suddenly it becomes high demand, like VTubing, like you said before, nobody knew what it was, and then like when COVID happened, like I don't think COVID was the only trigger, like I think it was already starting to come up because a lot of people just wanted to do something that was away from the office. And it's like, but I don't want to reveal my face. I want to have like total anonymity where no one knows who I am. But how can I do that? Oh, there's an easy way. It's like just put a little character of the way you want to look on screen, but don't put your face up like on a camera. And somehow someone found a way to make it so like, oh, the character moves when I move. Just so I have a camera on my face, but it's not showing people what I look like. It's just showing what my character looks like.
We kind of already knew of it as you and me, as someone who were into Japanese culture back in the
anime,
day, right?
yeah.
Where we were like, we knew about Nico Nico Doga and that culture even before like the whole entire VTubing industry got big. And I don't know if you're familiar with iChan, but was it iChan or AI-chan or something like that?
I don't remember.
They were like the first VTuber.
Hey, Ronster, how's it going? Yo, what's up with you, man? My best friend Ronster just joined us in chat.
Hello.
But
So
you were saying?
Yeah, so I mean, it's like I feel like in Nico Doga back in 2016-ish, it was kind of already big. VTubing definitely got bigger in Japan first, and I would argue it didn't really get big in the West until COVID happened.
Oh yeah, definitely. I think it's because like everybody was spending time at home. At the same time, like for me, Roster says, "Hello, everybody."
Hello.
Yeah, it definitely got bigger because everyone was staying at home. Of course, like for
Right.
me, since being a homebody, I don't find that a problem for me. Like just being at home. The only thing is that I have to make sure that I get plenty of sunlight. And I'm surprised that when I went for a checkup like last year, I was surprised that I didn't have any deficiencies with vitamin D. And I think it's because I think it's because I try to push myself to actually go walking outside if the weather's nice and at least it's not too hot to the point where I'm sweating like the Niagara Falls out of my clothes. You know? I mean, I haven't walked that much during the summer, but at the same time, it's like whenever there was like weather that was like 80 or 70 and it was like a little bit of a breeze or a little bit of a summer gust, I was like, okay, I'm walking. But I also like do the lawn work, so I probably get a lot of sunshine from just doing the lawn work for like probably like in one day, like spend an hour outside or something. Maybe. Who knows?
Oh, give me a second. Let me just turn on my AC. It's freaking hot.
Okay, I'll be right back too. So we'll be right back, guys. Little strike break.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay. Now I'm back too.
Hello.
Let's see. Roster says COVID amplified a lot of things involving the internet society as a whole. Yeah, I agree.
Yep. Remote working.
Yeah.
Online gaming. In general.
Yeah. Of course. But I think because of COVID, everyone wanted to live like I guess the futuristic society where it's like work and home were in the same place. Because I remember all those cartoons we saw like back in the 90s. I remember watching Dexter's Laboratory. There was like Dexter's Laboratory, the movie called Eco Trip. Basically, Dexter goes into the future to see his future self when I think he's supposed to be in his early 20s. And he's like literally living in the office. Like it's literally he lives in his cubicle. And I'm thinking like that's gonna happen to like in the future where we're just living and then we're just living like in a space and basically we go to work in the same space. Of course, like I think a lot of people don't want that because I mean like I think they want it in one room but they wouldn't want it in their whole house. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, because you don't want to associate your relaxation area or safe space, so to speak, with your workspace or stress space.
Yeah. I mean, I do because I stream. So, I do because I stream. But at the same time, I do everything on my computer, so I don't find any issues there.
Well, in that case, you could always kind of... You do, in a sense, have a safe space in a sense that once you turn off or you log off, you turn off your computer.
I go to my bedroom, yeah. I go to my bedroom.
Yeah, you're like...
Stuff like that.
Breathe in, breathe out, and then you're... You know, you could kind of unload your stress.
Yeah.
Like,
Ronster says some things were an inevitability. Yeah, I agree. Like, I mean, I understand why some managers want workers to come back to the office because it allows workers to actually have this mind space where it's like, okay, I'm in work mode, I should be in work mode. Problem is that I think what employers don't get is that they realize that not everyone's going to be passionate about their business and they're just going there to get a paycheck. And, you know, like actually one of my childhood friends called me like a half an hour before stream started and he really likes the company he works for. The problem is that he's not getting a raise there, you know? and like
Oh.
he's waiting for a raise, and he doesn't want to keep bugging them about it. And I just told him, like, hey, like, you know, like, you want the company to succeed, and if you're sincere and you're basically saying, I want this company to succeed, but at the same time, I feel like I want a raise, you know? Like, you don't want, like, everyone, I understand why everyone doesn't want to be that guy where it's like, or that person that just walks up and says, hey, I need a raise. Why aren't you giving me a raise? You know, like, everyone doesn't want to be that pushy guy, person, you know? But at the same time, it's like, if you know your worth and you're approaching it with sincerity, and you really think that the place that you're working at is treating you good, you know, you kind of, it doesn't hurt to ask. Because it's like asking a family member, is like, hey, like, you know, I know that I do a lot here, and it's like communication between like a spouse, and or like, you know, communication with like, you know, the kids or the family, you know, like, I know I live here, I'm trying to put my effort into doing the chores and stuff, but at the same time, I feel like I'm doing so much, like, is there a way to balance that out? You know, that sort of thing. It doesn't even have to be a raise. It could be just like asking, like, hey, I need help.
More PTO?
Yeah, like, yeah, you like, and I'm not getting as much time to myself for my health, you know, like more PTO, or like, or like, you know, I need more help in this department, because I feel like I'm constantly waiting and it's delaying production time. It's like stuff like that. But most people are afraid to ask their managers this, because it's like, either they're afraid that their manager's going to say no, or their manager's going to say, oh yeah, we'll do it, but they don't do it. They say they're going to do it, but they don't do it.
Yeah, you almost have to get it in writing, yeah?
Yeah, you get it in writing, or you have to constantly bug someone in a higher department to bug the person that is above you. And you don't want to be that person, because then the person who's your manager is going to be like, yo, why'd you tell the boss that?
Because you ain't getting shit done.
Because it's like, you're not doing anything. But at the same time, you don't want to say that, because you don't want to break, you know, like bridges. You don't want to burn bridges at that point. But it's just like, it's those type of dynamics where I'm like, I know things are not a simple fix, because like in my mind, when it comes to this, it's like, dang, like if this is a problem with like, you know, bureaucracies and stuff in jobs, right? Then why do we have managers? You know, because it's like, oh, like if this problem could be solved, we'll just put AIs for manager jobs, and you know, the businessmen type things, or the board of directors, that's going to be controlled by AI, while everyone does a technician type of job. Because I feel as if like, you know that advice where it's like, people are like, oh, you're good at this, you should make a business out of this, right? That doesn't really work out, because the person that does the thing they love to do, they're a technician in their own field of work. They're not a manager, they're not a business person. So they, like, whenever I read an entrepreneurial book, they always say this exact same thing. It's like, if you're a technician in the thing that you really want to make as a business, you're going to have to get used to being a manager. You're going to have to get used to actually balancing the books. You're going to have to be getting used to being an accountant. And then with like the AI craze, I'm like, screw that. I'm going to stay as a technician and have my AI be my manager instead of some like shirt. Like, you know, you get what I'm saying? Like, I think that's why AI is going to like help some people, because it's like, I could be a baker without having to be some suit in a like a board of directors. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, you could, because it's a different type of skill. Managing is a different type of skill, right? It's like it's a more bird's eye view of things.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're good at being the technician, like you're good at that particular skill, right?
Yeah.
Like, business leaders are always not necessarily sure, they're managing a business, right? So let's say, I don't know, plumbing business, whatever, VTubing industry, whatever it is, whatever industry you're talking about. But at the end of the day, what they're mainly is, they're all the same across all industries. They are managing people. Managing people first, and then you manage like in the context of
I think
people in the context of the
and I think when it comes to like the intention, right? Ronster says being a manager is so stressful. Exactly. Right?
Yeah.
And I think when it comes down to it, when people start businesses, their intention is to do the thing that they love to do, which is like, say if they're a baker and they love baking, their intention is just to be a business so they can bake forever. The problem is that there's a business side to it where it's like you gotta market your business. You gotta
market it.
You gotta manage the books. You gotta
shipping.
You gotta do all this monotonous stuff. And what I realize is that, like, yeah, there's some entrepreneurs that do it and they love managing people, but there are a majority of people that want to have a business that don't want to do that. They're like, I want to just bake in the oven forever. I don't want to deal with like, you know, I don't want to deal with, like, what is it, Quick Notes or something? That
yeah, you don't want to deal with taxes.
I don't want to deal with taxes and everything. And it's like, I think because, like, the reason why AI is becoming such a big thing now is because everyone's realizing that, oh, I can have my AI do everything for me. I don't even need to worry about the business side. Yeah, I don't need to worry about being a CEO anymore. I don't need to worry about having a board of directors that might screw my workers up just to maintain, like, a business quota. So, I think even countries will change from that, and, like, you know, some of the people that were just so power hungry of power, like leaders and stuff, they're gonna be like, oh, AI is a bad thing. Because then if people are like, for like Bitcoin, for example, right? Like, I don't think you guys know the history of Bitcoin, but it was created during the financial crisis, and it was originally supposed to be like a neutral form of money where it wasn't controlled as a government. It wasn't controlled by a government entity, so it was meant to be a global money system. But, you know, unfortunately, a lot of people caught on to it, and then it became a store of value instead of, like, money. So, like, sometimes it takes one step and it goes 2 steps backwards. But at the same time, I think a lot of people still hold faith in Bitcoin. Or at least the people in the community, like the crypto community, have full faith in Bitcoin, is because they feel as if we actually have a money that's not tied to any government.
Right.
Like, we can literally use it. Like, unlike gold, where you basically have to make sure you have, like, blocks of it, and then you have to have a truck to transport it. You have to make sure that the people that are transporting it don't steal it. You don't have, like, there's so many precautions wrong with gold, because it's like,
it's physical.
It's physical, and you have to hire people and you have to make sure that the people you hire are so trustworthy that they won't steal the gold from you.
Right.
So it's like a lot of, like, things that could go wrong. But, like, can you imagine, like, because we have also DeepSeek, that was like an AI that was made
China's?
with, like, what's up?
It's China's, right?
I think so, yeah.
It's China's.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, I think it's China's. And with DeepSeek, it's like they made it with like half the cost. I think it was like not like probably half the cost of like ChatGPT or something, or like even like with the technology they were lacking with, and they still managed to make it work. And that's open source. And I think a lot of things like. Can you imagine if there was like a Satoshi Nakamoto of like the AI that created a global AI that basically got rid of global leaders? It got rid of like you know, like countries with borders. It got rid of border control and everything like that. So it's like if we go like in the future, like probably like 2100, it's like people like in the American region, it's like what state are you from? And then like you ask that question to a citizen there, and they're like, what do you mean state? It's like what side of the country are you from? Country? What's a country? It's like, where are you from then? It's like, oh, we're from the Americas. It's like, okay, then which part of the Americas are you from? It's like, oh, we're from like the northern part. It's like almost close to like I think the Antarctica region. It's like, oh, you mean Canada? It's like, what's Canada? It's like, what the hell is Canada? We don't know what you're talking about. It's like, then what about China? It's like, what is China? It's like, I think he means that ancient civilization where, like, after 2050s, they got rid of.
Oh my god.
It's like, can you imagine if you were like talking to someone about like that, and you realize that, wow, countries don't exist anymore.
No more countries.
No more countries, and like everyone speaks like probably like many languages, but like everyone has like glasses that translate everything, or like more likely everyone's gonna be speaking one language. but they didn't do it like they did it like out of like I guess like evolution instead of like saying like they were subjugated by some country or some like global power.
That would be interesting. I wonder if that's ever gonna be possible.
I mean,
Or
English is.
humanity can.
I mean, English is probably like the closest successor to being like a global language.
Right. Well, yes, but usually it's like a second language, right? People.
Yeah,
still
it's usually a
prefer
second language,
to
yeah,
speak in their first language.
Yeah, of course, of course. I'm not saying like everyone's speaking English, but what I mean is that like if you're in a foreign country and you meet someone who is also a foreigner of that country, the more likelihood of you speaking to someone that actually can speak English is probably higher than it was like probably back in like the 1960s or probably the 1940s.
Oh, I see. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Like the likelihood of finding someone that's from a foreign country but that's not from the United States, for them to speak English is probably higher than say you're speaking to someone like in French. So I feel like English is probably getting there, but it's not there yet. You get what I'm saying?
I agree.
Now I'm not saying like I don't know, like it would be kind of like strange if like Japan disappears and there's no country of Japan anymore, and then like everyone in Japan just basically speaks English like people in the UK or people in the United States, like like that would be kind of bizarre. But at the same time, it's go on.
Yeah, because it's interesting is that language kind of traces culture in a sense, right?
Exactly.
It's definitely like the Japanese language has a lot of baggage more than it's not just a language. It's like history. It's like your ancestors. It's rituals and ceremonies and
it's really, I think it's tied to that, but at the same time it's also tied to like national pride and all that stuff, which kind of
you got it.
It kind of separates us as well. So but at the same time, like I also wonder like I think like if there's like because I was watching like a podcast, I don't remember the name of I think it's from the Diaries of a CEO, and they were talking to someone who was a former Google I think a former Google chair, not like the CEO, but someone who was on the board of directors, I think. And according to him, he believes that we're gonna go through an AI dystopia before we go into an AI abundance, and he believes that there will be no jobs like in the future, but he believes that once the AI dystopia like fades away after like probably like 10 to 20 years, then we will have an AI abundance where it's like everyone on Earth is going to be living on the same rules, where like you don't have to worry about governments anymore. It's basically just the AI taking care of you, and if you need something, it will give it to you.
Oh, that's interesting though.
Yeah, because
Have you seen
Psychopaths?
Psychopaths?
I watched the first season. I didn't watch the second season.
Yeah, so the idea was like, how would you resolve like more gray areas of humanity? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that'd be interesting when it comes
to I think that, but at the same time, you also like have to remember that it's a work of fiction, and the only way for fiction to be good is if there's conflict.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely like has an idea that trying to explore. Right?
Yeah. I mean, like I'm not saying that scenario can't happen, because there will be people that's like, oh, I can think of something that prevents bad things from happening, but then they implement it and it actually gets worse because it's out of good intentions. Like it's the same thing as like saying like, oh, I have the ability to map the human brain and know what a person's thinking just because I have this theoretical map that I've developed, and it's worked like probably 60 to 70% of the time, right? So, but at the same time, those ideas are dangerous, but some people, like, it depends on what the people decide, because it's like society is like, oh, it's worked so far, why are you trying to make it seem like it's a bad thing? It's like, but we have to be careful. But it's like, you're being paranoid. It's always that type of argument, and then suddenly the bad thing happens, and then like the person that said it, they'll be like, see, I told you.
See?
And then I think that's why people get into conspiracy theories, is because they believe that there's this bad thing that's hidden from everyone else, and then once there's like a little truth that explains it, they're expecting themselves to be on a parade and say like, see, I was right. Now you're gonna have to revel me as like in history as the guy that got it right. But at the same time, like, you're still a douche. you're still a freaking douche. like that's the reason why I don't get into conspiracy theories, because it's like it makes me feel as if like if I know this truth, right? And if it is true or if it's not, then it's up to me how I expect people, like it's making me sort of like I'm entitled to say I'm right and you're wrong, and once I'm proven right, then I'm entitled to all the pleasures of actually accepting that I was right. But nobody expects the baggage of holding that, you know? It's like for politicians, it's like, let's say you do a deal with another country to give your people at least like free gasoline, but then the other country says, okay, but you must send in the spies that we sent to your country back to us, which which could potentially put your country at risk.
Right.
But you did this deal, but you kept it secret, and then people find out about the secret.
Yep.
And you're like, wow, these people have no idea how much we worked for this, like work to protect their security for this. And I think that's why people get into so many conflicts, because there's a lot of stuff that they don't know, and when they don't know, they act on the reason why they don't know. And when they act when they don't know, that's really dangerous. And I think that's the reason why a lot of people get into so many conflicts, because they think that, oh, the politicians know something, which is true, but at the same time, rich people know something, which is true. But then, would you want that truth to come to you and you realize that, oh, there's a domino effect here?
Wow, yeah.
Like to preserve like prosperity or peace of mind. You know, like it's like that movie where it's, I don't remember what the name of the movie was. It's like, I think the movie ended where like the people realized that they didn't run out of food, but they realized that their food was made of dead people. I don't remember the name of that. I think it was a movie from the 60s or the 40s or something. And it's like, people eat people. You know, that sort of thing. Cause like, it's like when people work for the FBI or for the police. They discover like the most like darkest things of humanity, and like they bring it home with them.
Do you think there are certain truths that the public shouldn't be told about?
Human beings are always going to be like that. Like, you know, I think the thing of it is that I think in society you have to leave it open where it's like, you don't have to know it, but if you want to know it, you can access it.
Yeah.
But there should be like warnings, like, you know, like it won't be like a person that will tell you this. It will probably be like an AI or something. It's like, would you want to know this? And the thing of it is that like, if there's a warning to basically tell a person what they're gonna access is gonna change their mind forever, then. I mean, like, the AI can't stop them from getting the knowledge, but at the same time, it's like, are you sure you want to do this? Like, that's the real question. And usually curious minds, they find out, and then, like, some people, I think of the quote from Doctor Who, where, like, the Doctor discuss, like, how Time Lords are born, or no, like, how Time Lords, like, get inspired to time travel. So, like, if you guys are not familiar with Doctor Who, it's basically about an alien called the Doctor. He's known as a Time Lord, and he just travels in space and time. And he's part of this race called the Time Lords. And the Time Lords are just known to, like, travel through time and, like, you know, be observers of the universe. And imagine, like, a warp hole, like basically a swirling vortex. They call that the Untempered Schism. And Time Lords, when they're like around 8 years old, or like when they're like around a child's age, they would look at the Untempered Schism, and the Doctor describes it in a way where it's like some Time Lords would look at the Untempered Schism. It's like at the edge of all of reality, And some Time Lords would look at it, some would be inspired, some would run away, and some would go mad. So I think like with human nature, you're always going to get like a population of people that are going to fit in those categories.
And the others are like ignorance is bliss kind of.
Yeah, and they're the ones that run.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, like for the ones that are inspired, like they can take it as like, wow, life is so complex. Like, you know, like I have this knowledge, but at the same time, it's like I won't think anything less of the universe. But some will take it and be inspired to do really dark things, like you know, experimenting on like the thresholds of human pain. You know, like human experimentation and stuff, and we don't want that to happen. But at the same time, we can't stop people's curiosities. That's like the darkest part. So like the thing is that like people are worried that, oh, if AI can give you anything you want, what's to stop them from like, you know, tapping into like a human's dark desires, you know?
Sure.
And
you use AI for that?
And I don't have an answer for that. I mean, what do you think?
That's an interesting topic because it's like how much regulation do you want?
I think the thing of it is that we won't have like regulations. I think it would basically be like AI protocols, where it's like
it's built into the code base, or
yeah, I think it's built into the code base because it's like if we have an AI, I think it's gonna run similar to like on a blockchain where it's like everyone can have open source to it, and everyone can vote on how the AI like changes things. So like how it protects like their kids or how it protects like, you know, their families. But I think it's going to be tailored so that it can fit into every household at the same time. Let's say, you know, like a parent doesn't mind their kid watching like movies that are PG-13, right? They will set that for their AI, for their streaming service or whatever it is they're using to view programming. But there's a home that wants to make sure that their kid is like, you know, I want to make sure that my kid is not watching anything PG-13. It's like I will program my personal AI to do that, but they're still gonna be on a blockchain network where it's like it's tailored for that specific home, but it's not affecting the whole entire network.
The whole entire. Okay, I see.
So that's what I think is gonna happen. In
it's
fact,
like individualized regulation.
Yeah, I even think that computers, they're not gonna function the way that they function now, because you know how like everyone has an operating system, but it works the same way. Yeah. Like, you know, whether you have Windows or Linux or something like that. I believe, like, you know, with integration of, like, AI technology, everyone's going to have a tailored AI where, like, if you turn on someone's computer, it's not going to work the same way you think it's going to work. Like, you know, like, when you turn it on and boot it up, you get, like, a screen that tells you the password or something like that.
Yeah.
Imagine if, like, say, like, you open up someone's computer, but you have to press, like, a certain finger pattern on the screen to basically say, like, hey, activate this way. But then, like, you go into someone else's computer and it's like, okay, password is ... and they say something else. And then it opens. Voice command. Okay. And then there's another one where a person just types in their password. But there's another person that basically says, basically does something like, oh, I'm going to stick my ear to the screen. And then basically once I stick my ear to the screen, you open up.
Makes sense, yeah. It's like individualized.
Yeah, so I even think that web browsers are not even going to exist.
Oh, like you're talking about Chrome, Firefox, that
like Chrome, Firefox, like Brave. I don't think any of those are going to exist. I think everyone's going to be like, okay, let me see a video of something, and then basically the video will just pop up.
Okay.
You're not even going to use a web browser.
Oh, okay. So it's just like one system.
Like it's like if you want to play a game of Fortnite, it's like, oh, I want to play a video game. It's like I want to play the video game Fortnite, and it will just pop up. It will just start loading the shader, and the shader will load up, and you're automatically in the lobby. Like, I mean but that could be like, you know, 20 or 30 years from now.
Yeah, that's interesting. I wonder how it's gonna deal with like. Because right now we have like platforms and then publishers.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like intellectual property, like distributed across like multiple companies.
Yeah.
Like Steam is its own company. And
yeah.
There's, you know, EA games.
I even downloaded a Japanese learning game from Steam.
I was watching you. Is it the one that you just did very, very recently? Like
yeah, Wago Tabi.
I kind of just skimmed and watched a couple of it. It's just like
I think it's kind of fun.
Japanese game.
It is kind of fun, but I kind of knew Japanese already, so I was like,
I know.
oh, I know this, but at the same time, but I think like it's kind of fun for people to actually engage with Japanese.
Yeah, it's pretty fun. Like I was watching you do the fucking there was an old man with a dog, and
Yeah.
it was like koko des, asoko des, and like soko des. I was like, oh, that's so cool. You got it right.
Yeah, it's like it was kind of like basic, but at the same time, I'm like, oh, I can see where people can learn a little bit of Japanese. Probably like N5 content.
Yeah, it's
like probably N5 content. Like, but at the same time, I'm like when they got the little details, like when they talk about like certain nouns that have like the go or the o honorific. Yeah, I was like, oh, that's a detail that I did not see, and I was like, interesting.
That's interesting.
And I'm like, okay, at least they put a little detail in this. I mean, whether I'm successful learning more Japanese from it, I don't know. But at the same,
is kazoku o or go?
Which one?
Kazoku, like family.
Oh, kazoku. I think it's go kazoku. I think it's go kazoku.
It's go, right?
Yeah, because I think go is mostly used for like, I think it's mainly used for like, Japanese words that are closer to Chinese origin. I think.
Okay.
It's not just like, you know, kanji, like, you know, because we have okane. And like, you know, you can just say kane for money, but usually we say okane. So I feel as if like there's like certain rules to it, but I don't know all the rules, to be honest with you, because it's been a while since I learned Japanese.
Yeah, it was nice seeing you play it. I skimmed the recording of it.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it was a pretty fun game actually. Like I think for people that want to learn Japanese in a fun way, I think that game is good because it's like less than $10, and plus I think like it's a fun way to actually engage with Japanese without having to.
You always have to make your learning be a fun experience.
Yeah,
that's the most important thing out of anything.
Yeah, exactly. Because like the thing of it is, yeah, I mean like that's how I do learning with like complicated topics like with math and physics. It's like
when I first learned Japanese, it was like a game like that too.
Yeah,
it was like kanji, and you have to type out the kanji to win or something.
Yeah. Maybe there might be a game like that, like now, modern day.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Because like I mean, I think like we've come so far because back then I think there was never a game that you can play Japanese mahjong on. Now there's like plenty of games that you can play Japanese mahjong on now. Like gacha games weren't that big back then, but now we have a bunch of gacha games that are coming in, and they're coming in full force.
Right.
So like I think like when Genshin came out, like after Genshin came out and after it started gaining more popularity within I think in its third year, it felt as if gacha games were coming in full force, and I felt as if like, wow, we're getting a lot more gacha games that are a lot more diverse. They're a lot more into like implanting other games into it, like shooters and certain like chess mechanics and stuff like that.
Yeah, different. Yeah.
Like what's the games that like I forgot what they call them? MMO RPGs or something?
MMORPG?
RPGs, yeah. Like I think there's one called I think the Crystals of Atlan. I think that was like similar. It's like a game similar. It's like an anime version of like say like games like Lost Ark or like I guess a medieval like role-playing game.
Did you mention something about like anime GTA 5 before?
Yes, that is like one of the games that has that title is a game called Neverness to Everness. Everyone thought of that is going to be the anime GTA because you can steal cars and you can get in trouble with the police in that game. But there's also another game that's similar to it. I think it's called it was called Mugen before, but they changed it to I think Sanskrit title. I forgot what it's called now. I think it was called like Azana or something like that. I gotta look it up. But like that game takes place in a modern city too, and I think like a lot of people are looking forward to gacha games that are taking place in a big city where there's like a lot of stuff that you can do. Because like in GTA, you got a big city and you have everything at your disposal. So like people can buy apartments, people can like make their dream life in, I guess, like in the game while also doing crime at the same time. So you know, it's like a game without consequences, I guess, like, because a lot of people like to do that, and like they want to be able to have like this sense where they can fool around with their friends and like not worry about like, you know, harming others. You get what I'm saying? Because like you don't want that in real life.
Like a virtual city where you could like move around and like interact with other like humans, but it's just like a virtual world essentially.
And now we get into Web 3.0. Because like I remember the promises of Web 3.0, like I think like 2 years ago, they would say like, oh, you're gonna be in a virtual city, you're gonna visit like a Chase Bank or a Bank of America in the virtual world. You won't have to step out of your house. You just basically take the virtual currency and you go to the virtual store, and like it's like you're basically saying you're gonna go on Amazon by walking to Amazon. but not really walking to Amazon, you know what I'm saying? And people just can't get that. It's like, wait, you're telling me that I'm gonna order stuff online, but I'm not gonna do it through a computer screen. I'm gonna put my VR headset, walk to the store, but not actually walk out of my house, and like go to some virtual store where I buy stuff, and I actually look at the stuff that's on sale, but it's virtual. And I'm like, yeah. And people were like, that's so confusing.
Like, I had a small stint in a game called Ice Space back in like the 2010s.
Yeah.
And it was a small one where it's like just Akihabara essentially. And then you have like your own personal apartments area.
Yeah.
I've met some people in there, and they like, you know, of course they like designed like their personal like apartments and stuff.
Right.
But what was cool is like you can have a TV, or even in Akihabara there's like a big screen, and they like you play like videos from Nico Nico Doga and like have it stream into the screen that everyone can see, you know. It was kind of an interesting game, but it's mostly for like there's like some mini games on it that you do. But for the most part, it's like you interact with people in their little mini apartments, and you see how they design the room, and you talk to them. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that sounds cool. I think like in the future, like people are gonna start making their own virtual bedrooms. it's like yo, you want to chill at my place? It's like, yeah, sure. And then they basically just go into the virtual world and they just put their their VR headsets on, and it's like, yo, welcome to my room. It's like, bro, you have a fountain in your bedroom. And it's like, it's my bedroom. I could design it the way I want.
Exactly.
It's like, don't you think that's a bit pretentious? It's like, dude, you have a freaking racetrack in your lawn. It's like, and people will be having like different virtual versions of their houses, but at the same time, I also think that's gonna make people spend less money because it's just virtual. People can just make it.
Yeah.
So it's like I don't know if you've seen the movie Ready Player One. Have you?
I just heard about it, but I haven't.
Like, I imagine cities are just gonna basically have like skyscrapers, but like the apartments are so minimalist, it's gonna be like, yo, there's nothing here. It's like, where's everything? But then it's like, what are you talking about? Everything's here. And then you put on your Google glasses or whatever it is, and you see everything, but it's all virtual.
Yeah.
Like everything, like the furniture and everything is just gonna be all virtual in your Google glasses. And like the refrigerator is not gonna store food, it's just gonna virtualize food for you.
That's wild.
It's like a 3D printed version of food. Like I feel like the Internet of Things is gonna be the next thing that's gonna come up. Like, have you ever heard of that trend? The Internet of Things?
Internet of Things? No.
So the Internet of Things is basically like where every single object in your house is connected to the internet.
Oh, okay. I vaguely kind of know.
So, like, say if they're, let's say if your refrigerator is connected to the internet, it can basically contact the store for you with an AI, and the AI will automatically say, "Hey, you need milk. Get milk." And then basically the grocery store will basically like, "Oh, we'll virtualize that for you. put in the milk in the virtualizer or whatever, and it just automatically like transports into your refrigerator.
Convenient.
Yeah, it's convenient, and no one has to do food shopping and stuff.
Yeah.
So you know, so the AI will make sure that you never go hungry. But at the same time, it's like the worst part about food shopping is like, you know, when you have a craving and you want to have that one thing for one night, but then because of like was it like because of profit seeking from companies, they want to make sure that you buy batches of it when you don't even really need it.
Yeah, you buy the bulk.
You buy the bulk, and it's like, why do I even have these? Now I gotta eat all of this, like this bag of chips or something. And I just wanted one bag of chips. I think like in the future, if you have like a craving for something, you can basically just have that craving instantly, but without having to buy like bulk of it, you know?
Yeah, like individualized.
Yeah. Of course, I am not a futuristic guy. I'm not a futurist guy, so I'm not predicting the future. I just feel like that's the optimistic future that I see. And I know a lot of people will be screaming at us, or at least me, basically saying that like, oh, but what if this scenario happens, or what if that scenario happens? And I'm like, yeah, that's fine. You can voice your concerns about that, so that way we can figure out how to solve those problems in the future. Because that's why, you know, I think that's why the AI is going to be more attemptive to solve problems than a company. Because when you bring it up to a company, they are like, oh, if we ruin this dynamic, then the workers will not get paid this much. Or if we ruin this dynamic, there's so many domino effects that happen within management of a company. That's the reason why companies don't change their policies at all. Because they're worried about ruining domino effect that will create, like, you know, either a hardship for the board of directors or a hardship for the workers, or both.
Status quo, yeah.
Yeah, it's not even status quo. It's like, you know, like how do you maintain a government and peace within your citizens if you have to protect them from like the darkness of crimes like that are happening internationally? You know, like how do you protect them from that? Like how do you make them feel safe? It's like that type of stuff. And a lot of people don't want to feel like, oh, I'm not sheep because I don't believe that the government protects us. I don't believe that companies protect us, you know? And I think that's why like the internet is such an uproar with like between, oh, we should trust companies or we should trust governments to ensure that our security and our sovereignty. But at the same time, it's like, it's okay to have doubts about both of them.
Both of them.
it's okay to have doubts about both of them, because like the thing of it is that you can't pick one side and say like, oh, they're a company, so they will make sure that customer service comes first. But at the same time, it's like, but it's the government. They're going to actually put their resources in things that most companies won't gain a profit from. It's like a back and forth where it's like, here's the thing that both institutions do, and they do these effectively. They know how to cater to the people that are under them. They know how to cater to them. Like, whether it be a company, their workers, or whether it be the government and its citizens. Okay? They're good at catering to the people that they serve. The problem is that... the problem is that when these two forces collide, where it's like the company has to do something, but then the government says there's a policy to prevent you from skimping out to make sure that you fulfill your customer serving duties. So the thing of it is that the reason why companies want people to think less of the government is because it will make them feel as if they're the savior of whatever it is they're doing. And the same thing with the government. They want to make sure that companies are held accountable, but at the same time, we want you to be suspectful of these companies because they only care about profit, which is true because they have to serve not only their board of directors, but also their stockholders, as well as their workers. And their workers. And it's like basically countries bickering. It's like two countries bickering. Like, companies are trying to be their own countries, and they literally are acting as their own countries.
Of course.
So, like, I think in the future, like, we're probably gonna live like Star Trek, where like people are gonna be like, "What's a CEO?" And like, wait, you don't have CEOs? It's like, what is a CEO? I don't get it. Like, you don't have a board of directors, a vice president, or something like that? We do have an AI unit that basically serves as our like our policymaker. Like, is that what you're talking about? I was like, so you guys don't have a president? No, that was outlawed like 100 years ago.
Will
'Cause, like,
AI be the one directing strategy as well? Like
I think
something
it will
like
be
that?
AI upon AI. Yeah, I believe that's how it's gonna be. Where it's like, if one AI fails, there's gonna be another AI that takes its place. So I believe there's gonna be layer upon layer of AIs in the future. Not in the future within the next 50 years. I'm talking about the next probably 100 years.
Yeah, something. Is it a future we won't ever see?
I don't know. Like, honestly, like, if I get to live to about 2100, I'm gonna be like, wow, I made it here.
Wow.
Because I was like, I remember reading, because I have the book Physics of the Future by Michio Kaku.
Yeah.
And if any of his predictions come true and I live to see it within 2100, I'm gonna be like, wow, this is exactly what Michio Kaku predicted. I mean, like, you know, like, the thing is that, like, I think there are some things that we can make now. So since AI is becoming a big thing, right? We should have a toilet that tells you when you're having health problems.
Oh.
We should have a toilet that does that.
It's like a sampler. It samples your.
Yeah, it basically samples everything you put into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I mean, I'm not gonna mention what those unmentionables are unless you like to flush
Yeah.
rubber duckies down the toilet.
Rubber ducky!
But at the same
You
time,
have
it's
an excess of rubber in your blood.
it's like warning, you have excessive amounts of rubber intake in your in your stool. But like, you know, it can tell you like on early signs of like, say, kidney stones or something like that, or
Yeah, I
like
see
your
what you're
cholesterol's too high or something like that.
Yeah.
I feel as if there should be no excuse why we don't have toilets that do this. It should have a bidet and it should have an AI that tells you your health. There should be no excuse for not having that at all.
Yeah, that's an interesting idea, actually.
Like, I know Americans, like we Americans, were like, bidets, like we don't need them.
Bidets, no,
Yeah, like
we
bidets,
don't.
we don't need them. But at the same time, it's like there's no excuse for American toilets to not have an AI that says, "Hey, you have this in your blood, or you have this in your stool." You know, that's that sort of thing, right? Because I don't know what the Board of Health would do if they didn't approve of those things. Because that saves trips to the doctor. And you know,
something that warns you, that tells you, oh, gotta go ahead and see a doctor about it.
and the crazy thing is that what I read in Michio Kaku's book is that you won't even need to go to a clinic to see a doctor. You just basically like have like an AI wall or an AI mirror that basically is, like has the doctor like visualized in your mirror, like sort of like a Zoom call. And like you
ChatGPT doctor.
Yeah, and basically acts as your doctor, and basically like, I have this pain in my back, or I have like this like weird like thing like in my retina. Can you take a look at it? It's like, okay, I'll take a look at it from the screen. I mean, there are some things that yeah, there are some things that you would have to go to the physical clinic for, but I think like the small things, they're probably going to be more convenient to not have to do that.
You don't have to have thousands of dollars in medical debt.
Yeah.
Or the non-insured people.
I mean, like, I do believe, like, in the future, like, we won't have to do surgery by just opening people up. We probably might be able to do surgery by just, like, having, like a technology that's similar to, like, ultrasound, where it's, like, you basically, like, do a machine, and the machine kind of, like, x-rays without actually having to do, like, damaging, like, radioactivity to go into your, organs.
Right.
Like, it's sort of like, it's like laser surgery, but without having to, like, cut you open to have the laser surgery go into it, if you get what I mean. Like, you know how ultrasound, we can basically, because, like, actually it was funny, because on my math stream, right, I was doing, like, the physics and mathematics of waves, and there were a lot of medical questions in the section I was doing.
Interesting.
Yeah, yeah, so, like, one question involves ultrasound, right? And they said that in the problem they were introducing how ultrasound works. Basically, you have to introduce like an amount of 20,000 hertz to basically create an ultrasound effect where you can basically like read out what's going on in the body. So like if you have a lot of hertz and you basically have a like say the sound like the speed of which sound travels through air, you basically get the wavelength of like how much you can read out, like how much the wavelength is to basically send you a clear picture of the body from like ultrasound.
I see.
And
so that's how it. Okay.
and it's crazy because there's a different speed for sound in air and compared to like sound in water.
In water.
Yeah, and it's cool because like if we have those sound, like if we have the ability to like just know the frequency and know the speed, then we'll be knowing how the wavelength of that sound travels in your body. And I'm like, oh, that's so cool, you know? And that gives us like a clear picture of like how to see things, which I think is really awesome. So, you know, like, I know a lot of people are not into, like, science and stuff, but at the same time, it's like, for us humans to actually develop something that we can't see, and then suddenly make it seeable based on just sound waves alone, you gotta give us credit for that. I mean, like, long ago, people wouldn't have think of using sound to see?
So ultrasound is sound, that makes sense, it's in the name. What is MRI? Do you know what MRI is?
I think MRI is basically that, like the same as ultrasound, but with light.
With light?
Yeah,
how
with
about
light.
how about like CAT scan or PET scan or whatever they call it?
I think it's about the same principle.
Oh, it's also light?
Yeah, because I think like with MRI scans, it relies on electromagnetism. I don't know that much about it, but I think it has to do with more light than sound. But I think they probably use the technologies in conjunction with one another.
Okay.
Because I think with MRI, they have to inject you with a specific liquid, and the liquid is supposed to light up and give the MRI something to look for.
Oh, that's interesting. It's like a dye.
Yeah, some sort of dye that's... Hopefully it's not toxic, but you get what I mean.
Probably not.
Yeah, because that's why when you do an MRI scan, you see that certain areas of your brain light up. It could be like because the dye is actually reacting to the MRI scan. That basically shows how your brain is reacting to certain things. So, like, you know, that's why a lot of brain researchers love MRIs, because it's like, oh, we can see the brain what it's like when it forgets things. Oh, we can see the brain when it learns math. We can see the brain what's like when it's playing Go or something like that. So, you know, like, I think when it comes to the brain, it's really interesting how much we don't know, but it's so much interesting how much we can know from it, especially with like the developments in technology and stuff.
Right.
Like actually after like my math stream, I was starting to watch a series. It's an old series of a crime drama called The 11th Hour, and it's basically let me see, I have like, you know, like the information here. So it stars Rufus Swell. I think that's how you pronounce his name. If you guys are not familiar with him, he played in was it Man in the High Castle? So like he plays a biophysicist, and he's supposed to act as the scientist that helps the FBI solve crimes. And I usually love shows like that. I love crime procedure. I like police procedurals, but I love it when it's like a scientist that helps the police. Because you learn more science, and in addition to it's not the scientist trying to prove that he's smarter than everyone else. It's mainly just the scientist just doing his part to help. Of course, like depending upon the personality type, they want to have this for the scientist. And I think for this series, like the scientist is not annoying. He's not very like I know more than you, so you should listen to me type of attitude. It's more like
that's good.
Yeah, he's like very humble, and he's also very like he does have morals, and I'm like, okay, he's not like someone who's like a
pompous, arrogant one.
like a pompous solvent savant. I mean, like a pompous savant. That's what I mean. Yeah. But yeah, like I think like when I was watching the series, I picked up a like a book I have called Chemistry Made Easy, and I started reading a little bit about chemistry. So I think like
very good, interesting.
And I think like in the future, people are gonna start to learn to harness their curiosities and act on them.
That's really good. What have you learned so far in your chemistry thing?
I did read about ions. So like I learned that an ion is basically like say like if an atom has an extra electron in one of its out of orbits, like I think it's one of its level 3 orbits, and it has the ability to give that electron out to like say another atom, then basically you can make compounds like that. So that's what I've learned so far.
Okay. Like
So
salt.
yeah, like salt. Yeah, like salt, and like because like you get sodium, and then basically with sodium you combine it with chlorine, and then it becomes sodium chloride, which is basically just salt. So yeah, so like that's another thing. And the thing of it is that like when you ask people basic things like, okay, what is the chemical compound of water? Everyone can say H2O, but then if you ask them like, what does that stand for? It's like I don't know. I don't know. And then it's like it's hydroxide.
Yeah.
But I actually have to learn the prefixes. I don't know the prefixes in chemistry yet. Like for me, like I just follow my curiosity and I just go from, because when it comes to knowledge, guys, for me, if I'm reading a section and it's boring me to hell, I basically skip it and I go to something that interests me. That basically sounds interesting.
Back later.
And then I go back and I basically say, oh, this is why this is important. Because the thing of it is that I think now with like AI and like the internet, a lot of people are going to be able to teach themselves, but if they allow themselves to. Because what I think is going on is that people worry about losing their jobs. The people that are worried about losing their jobs are the people that don't have this curiosity nurtured in them. They're not curious about something else, or they don't develop another skill outside of that, right? So like, like I'm not saying like, going to work and then going home and relaxing and watching Netflix is a bad thing. But if you don't have this ability to like, say like if you're watching a show and suddenly they say something that's like, you know what, I'm wondering what they meant by that, and looking it up and trying to go deeper into the subject, and you're like, oh, I'm actually curious about this thing. Whether it be like something technical, or whether it be something like artistic, or whether it be something like, something that's, as useless as my knowledge, like math and physics, right? Because like a lot of people would think you're just learning knowledge for knowledge's sake. That's useless. But at the same time, like, do I know how to utilize it?
So many things in the world are useless.
Yeah, and
like, why bother? Why even think about what is useful?
It's like why go to med school? Like, like if the internet exists, why do I have to learn about the human body? Why do I have to diet? Why do I have to know what food to like take out of my body?
Sorry, Peter. Can I have like a 5-minute break real quick? I have to put up my laundry real quick.
Yeah, sure.
4 minutes, really.
Yeah,
4
sure.
5 minutes, really.
Yeah, sure. No problem.
I'll be right back.
Yep, no problem. Well, while Rainer's away, basically I will communicate with you guys for the time being, since he is going to be away for a while. But, like, how are you guys doing in chat? For anyone that's in chat, whether it be on YouTube or on Twitch, I'm Peter, aka UncleTalks. If you're watching this on YouTube and you're liking the podcast so far, you can basically just, drop a sub if you like YouTube. In addition to hit the like button, and if you're watching this after the live stream airs, you can basically put in the comments down below on what you would like us to talk about next. If you're watching this on Twitch, drop a follow if you can. It really helps me out, in addition to like motivates me to continue to put more content for you guys. But yeah, I love making content online, but I try not to like push myself to the point where it's like most people that are content creators, they grind so much to the point where it feels as if it's like a job. And they try to make streaming or content creation their job, and they do grow to love it, but at the same time they burn themselves out. I'm trying not to do that. I'm trying to basically just put out content because I want to, in addition to like taking things back, because I did like basically save up in addition, but if I have to like go back to like work like a regular, I guess like whether it be a part-time job or whether it be like a regular job, I know that I would be able to like make my money work for me. Of course I will still like, still live with my parents and whatnot, but at the same time I don't have anything against that, because I'm still with my family and all that stuff. Because I would rather like be here watching over my dad to make sure that he doesn't like injure himself or fall on the floor and he can't get back up, because like my relatives, my aunt actually experienced the fall in Thailand, and she has to use a walker now. So, and my dad also has another older sister that has the same condition, so she walks with a cane. So, you know, like there might be a day where my dad actually might have to use a cane. Or no, I mean, hopefully that's not the case, but because he doesn't walk out that much. But, you know, and you never know. That's why, like, whenever I look on the floor, I try to make sure that there's no water that he can slip on, or making sure that there's nothing loose so he, like, falls. But, of course, I can't, like, you know, watch him, like, 24/7, you know? It's really hard. It's really hard, like, when you get older. Because, like, you realize you're not as young and sprightly as you were before. In addition, that you know your body's slowly, like, failing on you. But, I think that's basically the part of more, like, human nature that has to take place. And I think, we can't really take that away from, people in general. I mean, when you think of your own personal morality, it's like, or mortality, I should say, not morality, mortality. It, like, especially when you're young, like, for me, it's like, I'm 35. I just turned 35 this year. And, you know, like, I'm almost 40. So, like, I have to think about, like, you know, what I'm putting in my body and all that stuff. But I still am a sugar fiend. I really love, like, you know, things with sugar in it. I love desserts. But I try my best not to overload stuff. But I also try my best to, like, make sure that I enjoy as much as I can. But without, like, overexerting my body to the point where it's like, I'm putting too much junk in my body. But I will be right back, guys. Just give me one quick second. Okay, I'm back, guys. We're still waiting on Rainier, so I will basically talk to you guys a little bit more. But I enjoy talking to you guys. If you guys are in chat and you would like to basically just chat, go and chat and basically communicate with me on what I say, then you're more than happy to do so, because I want to know what your guys' opinions are on things, because the thing of it is that I know we're all people and we all have different points of view on things. And I like to hear when people tell me what their point of view is, especially when it's like opposite of what I think, because...
Alright, I'm back.
Oh, welcome back. Welcome back. Let me try to backtrack. What were we talking about?
AI doctors.
Doctors, yeah, I was on a roll with something. I don't remember what it was. Oh yeah, I do believe that humans, like I think people in the future, the people that in the future will succeed are people that are actually driven by curiosity.
Yep.
I think that's what's gonna happen, because I think what happens is that people are stuck between survival and what's another side that survival and compassion, right? And the thing of it is that, like, most people think, like, oh, a person that wants to do something for the future and want to work and earn money in it, they have a lot of passion, right? But at the same time, it's like, in this world, we try to stomp that out, because it's like, no, you have to think about survival. You have to think about the dollar. The dollar's going to dominate your life, or the whatever it is, the yen, the euro. It's going to dominate your life, and you're going to be miserable without it, right? Because it's bent on your survival. And I think people get their curiosity stomped out, because it's like, yeah, if I become a scientist, I'm gonna not make as much money as, to say, if I was working on Wall Street, right? But then they live miserable lives, and they're like, oh, what can I do to heal this empty hole in myself? I know, I will go on an expensive vacation on a yacht that I can afford. Or I'll go on this cruise that I don't need to take.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they will try to like numb themselves by going on these extravagant trips, because they feel like, oh, I have a lot of FU money and I can just make it rain. But there's a reason why rich people are miserable too. Like, if rich people were truly happy, I bet you they would be the most intelligent and most enlightened people on this face of this earth. If they were truly happy with themselves.
I mean, I guess it comes with baggage, right? Like,
Yeah.
Like being rich, being famous. Obviously, being famous comes with a baggage, but also being rich.
Oh yeah, like, being famous is just an absolute baggage.
It's almost like you want to be rich, but you want to hide the fact that you're rich.
You want to be known, but you don't want to be famous.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of people,
maybe you don't even want to be known. You just want to be just like a normal person.
I think people want to be known enough so that they can get enough resources to get the opportunities they want, but they don't want to. But they don't want to be famous to the point where it's like it impedes their life, and everyone's like, "Yo, take a picture with me," or like, "Yo, I've seen you before," and everything like that. And
so you get access.
It gets really annoying because it's like I can't even have a private life to myself, and then you start questioning why people are with you. It's like, are they with me for my fame? Are they with me for like my impact? Like, do I mean anything to these people? Like, what's gonna happen if like suddenly I have to take a crap but I can't find a toilet? Will there be a person that actually will show me like where a toilet is? You know, like that sort of thing. Will they actually respect me at my worst? You know, and that's the hard part. And I think, you know, with dating it gets really, really difficult because it's like a lot of people want to get that package because it's like, oh, this person already has their, like, I guess the quote-unquote, like, shit together, but I hate that term because it's like, what does that mean? That doesn't mean nothing to me. That doesn't mean anything. Because it's like, I get, like, you know, like, having your emotional, balance in check, right? Like, say, like, if you went through trauma and you worked through your trauma and stuff, that I understand. But at the same time, like, a lot of people use it as if, like, do you have everything on my checklist for me so that I can actually find you dateable? Right? And that is like that doesn't mean anything to me. I don't even know what it is. And like for me, that's why I don't go on dating apps anymore, because it's like it's just
it's just become a checklist.
It's just a checklist, and I'm like I have nothing against people that use it, but I tried using them and I have been on like 1 or 2 dates from them, but at the same time I'm like I don't like I just feel like it's not a real genuine connection. But at the same time it's like, how do I meet people without making it seem awkward? And you know, this is why I'm actually going to a convention, because it's like this is the only way I can actually meet people that I can probably be simpatico with, you know. But at the same time it's like, do I want to date someone that wants to buy figurines every single month of the year? Probably not, because I wouldn't figure out where to put those. And at the same time it's like, do they like, I mean, if they're rich and they can do that, fine, like I don't mind that either, but are they gonna be a good person to me? Will they respect my boundaries? Will they know how to talk to me when I'm actually being at my lowest? Will they be able to encourage me when I actually need support? Because I think for me it's like as a guy it's really hard to talk to guys to support them, because for guys, like, we're so used to people like making us feel like emotionally uplifted, but suddenly being like blocked from being uplifted. It's like I don't like using the term like because I don't want to like, you know, get to, like I'm not monetized, but I don't want to say a word that I can't say on YouTube. But I call it C block, like C block. You guys could probably guess what the word is.
Yeah.
Like C block, right? It feels as if like whenever guys encourage each other, it's like you feel uplifted, but then you get C blocked into thinking that, oh, but reality is like this, so you shouldn't be overly optimistic. Do you get what I mean?
So it's kind of like encouragement only up to a certain point.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, it's like, well, you gotta be realistic or something.
Yeah, it's like that, and I get tired of that crud. Because it's like moments like that. I'm like, yo, why can't we guys talk as if like, you know, how women talk to each other? It's like they support each other and they say the right things. And like for men, it's like, yeah.
Isn't the problem with women though is they say the right things, but they don't actually mean it. Like they just say whatever is. Like there's like a lot of backstabbing though.
But that's the reason why women are not as lonely as men. They keep it with their friend group. For men, like for men, as soon as they get married, they don't have the friends that they had before unless their wife likes their friends coming over.
Right.
And that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. I'm not basically saying like, you know, women are keeping their husbands from meeting their friends. I'm not saying that. But at the same time, it's a guy thing where it's like once you have a family, you start just hanging out with your wife and your kids. You don't hang out with your friends unless your friends are actually in with your wife is okay with your friends being in the in group of the family that you created together. And you know, like my point is that like I think, man, we got to do better at actually maintaining our relationships like outside of our marriages. Like, you know, and, you know, yeah, it's like, I don't want to make it seem like, oh, men should try harder because we've gotten that message over and over again. Where it's like, men have to try harder to be like men, but at the same time, it's like, what does that mean? What does masculinity mean? You know, because, like, for me, I always question, like, you know, when people talk about toxic masculinity and stuff, I then ask myself, what do I define masculinity for me? And what I define masculinity for me is different from, like, say, someone who defines masculinity for them. And, you know, like, how do I view, like, my masculine self, right? That's also plays a role. Because some people, when they think of their masculine selves, like for guys, they love to think of themselves as like the Sylvester Stallone, like, you know, all buff and like, you know, don't take crap from no one, or they imagine themselves like Ryan Reynolds, like as Deathpool. It's like, you know, like I might be weak looking, but I know how to give a very sly remark, and I'm not going to take crap from anybody. But the way I envision it is like probably another way that men view their masculinity is like I imagine like, you know, like in Kingsman, right? I imagine like myself as like Colin Firth, like the way he was in Kingsman, like a gentleman that knows how to maintain themselves, a gentleman that basically knows how to stay stoic. In addition, knows what to say at the right time. It's like what he said in Kingsman is like a gentleman is nothing more than his accent. It's his ability to remain at ease in his own skin. You know, like stuff like that. And you know, like it wouldn't surprise me like if I get older and like if I'm fortunate enough to get much skinnier than I am now, which I doubt, but if I'm lucky to get that, like, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if I'm like an older gentleman and I'm wearing a suit like a lot and I'm carrying a cane, like, but I'm not carrying a cane as if I have baggage. I'm carrying a cane because I know it's meant to elevate my class mentally.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, so I think that's basically like my way of actually trying to say that I am comfortable with myself, but at the same time, have I put myself comfort to the public yet? And I would have to say no. In some ways, I've done it through the internet, but I haven't done it like with real life people. Maybe with some of my friends, but not like a majority of them. You know?
Yeah.
Because like talking to people is always going to be difficult. Because like I went through like different points in my childhood where like I would do something and I thought it was okay, but then like I would hear about it from somebody that I would hear it from someone else, and so and so said something about me. Then they thought that, like, why did Peter have the nerve to do this, or why did Peter have the nerve to do that? And I was like, I thought we were cool. Like, you know, like, did I do something wrong? You never told me that I was doing something wrong. You know, I would hear that all the time throughout my childhood, and I always thought that I was just weird, or I thought I was like socially inadequate.
Jesus.
And, you know, but at the same time, like, those are growing pains. Like, there's gonna be like, and I'm not gonna say that everybody has to go through them, because a lot of people, when they put, like, I guess when they actually say that you will go through certain things in life, they make it seem like you're gonna go through the same exact pain that they went through, but in actuality, I think you go through different pains that people will never experience. and they're gonna have a different impact on you whether you know it or not. The question is that will you have the tools to actually bounce back and say, hey, I made choices in the past, but they don't affect the choices that I have now.
And yeah, and it won't affect my future.
Yeah, because I always go back to the quote from like Dumbledore from like the Chamber of Secrets at the end of the movie. He basically says like, it is not our abilities that show what we truly are, it is our choices.
Interesting.
Yeah, I always
Not abilities, but choices.
Yeah, because like, you know, like we have the abilities to do a lot of things, but at the same time it's like we have the choice to act on those abilities. And, you know, like, it's like the same, it's like basically saying, like, someone's good at something, but they don't want to follow it through because they never thought of it was a big deal. And them being passionate about something that they know they're going to struggle with, but they do it anyway, that's something that is their choice.
Very good.
Yeah. But they love doing it. They love the struggle of it. Like, I can only take examples from me because I don't want to, like, say that different people have different versions, but for me, it's like, why do I make myself go through the rabbit hole of learning math and physics when I know it's extremely hard? I do it because I love doing it, because I want to be able to see the mathematical relationship between nature and, like, you know, the mathematical world of mathematics. And that's something that a lot of people get scared about because it's like they're looking at hieroglyphs and they don't even know what they're reading.
Like looking at Japanese.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, a lot of people want to learn languages, but the thing is that are they willing to follow up on it? Yeah, like, are they willing to, like, learn one word a day? Are they willing to, like, watch a TV show that they like in that language? Because for me, it's like, even though I would like to learn French, I do it for fun. Like, I basically watch Code Lyoko in French with English subtitles.
Okay.
And, you know, I know I'm not going to learn every single word they're saying, but at the same time, it's like, I implore the same technique I did with learning Japanese. It's like, I would watch an anime without subtitles. Do I understand every single word of it? No. But do I pick up on the small words that I can probably catch? Probably. Like, for, like, French, like, I would catch on, like, certain phrases, like, I think, like, for what happened is, like, qu'est-ce qui se passe? Like, or, like, you know, like, instead of, like, hello, like, for, like, friends in French, they would say salut.
Salut.
Yes. So, you know, like, you catch those little things, and you have to basically pat yourself on the back to catch those little things. But there will be that person that probably knows more than you. They would probably like, yeah, that's great to get results, like, within, like, a couple of months and stuff, and you're only saying a couple words. But don't you want to actually say sentences? And I understand what those people are coming from, because it's like, it's okay to basically do that if you want to actually take a lifetime of learning it, but they really make it seem like it's like, but in order to learn it within 6 months, you got to do this, or you got to push yourself to do this. And the thing of it is that this is the reason why there are people that are result driven, but I'm more intention based. But a lot of people love results. And, you know, I think it's because of our for-profit society that we really want to get results, because it's like when you're trying to get rich, right? What do you care about? You care about you care about getting a return on your investment and cash flow. But if the cash flow is not working with the return on investment, then some people get frustrated by that. It's like, why is it that I'm investing my money into this thing that is growing past, like, I guess growing in a way where it's like gaining like a little bit of percentage every year, but I'm not getting an increase in cash flow? This is why people get into real estate, because it's like, oh, I'm getting cash flow from just owning a property, or I'm getting cash flow from this and that and all that stuff. Because with real estate, cash flow comes in, and like, if you make it work, it can basically give you like cash flow that comes in constantly. And like, this is why when people get rich, they grow exponentially, they don't grow linearly. So what that means is that they will grow it. Like, for most people, when they think of getting $1 a day, they basically are like, oh, I get $1 today, but I get $1 tomorrow, I get $1 to, like, now I got $3 within 3 days. But when you do it exponentially, it's like, okay, I'm struggling to make $1, but then you make that $1, then what happens? Like, let's say you took like 3 years to make that $1. Hopefully that's not the case for any of you, but like let's say you take 3 years to make that $1, but then the next 6 months you make $10, and then like the next like month you make $20. That's what it means to grow exponentially in some ways.
Yep.
So
compounding, blah blah blah.
Yeah, compounding and all that stuff. And this is why a lot of people say you got to get into real estate, but at the same time it's like, I don't want to own a home. I don't want to own someone else's property, and I don't want to get a call in the morning to basically say my toilet's clogged, or or there's a leak in my roof. And, like, I think like anybody who is honest with themselves, like if you like real estate, like, and you like dealing with that stuff, more power to you, but I'd rather you deal with that than me deal with that. Like,
makes sense.
Like for me, if I want my money to work for me, I'd rather be passive. I'd rather be hands off. Because, like, you know, everybody, they want money to survive, but in addition, they want their money to take them places. And, you know, if I have to basically just manage a home to get, like, cash flow, I'm like, sorry. I'm pretty sure there's a different investment opportunity that I can get the cash flow without the headaches. And I think, like, that attitude of, like getting back to what we were saying with AI, I think the attitude of people being technicians and they have to adopt this business mindset when they don't want to, or they have to adopt this management mindset when they don't want to, I think that's gonna go away, because it's like, yo, I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this management thing. I don't want to do the CEO thing. And it's like, well, with AI, you don't have to. Because
it's actually gonna be an LLM, yeah. An LLM to do it.
Pretty much, yeah. Like, I think, like, probably, like, defining things, like, people are gonna be like, oh, I have this side gig, and I have this side gig, and I have this side gig. But it's not gonna be, like, I don't think the term side gig is gonna be, like, the term anymore. I think what's gonna happen is, like, oh, I have my AI doing this, it's selling this for me, and I have my AI doing this, and it's providing this service for me. And, like, I think a lot of people are gonna have a lot of, like, gigs, but it's gonna be part of themselves. So it's like, oh, I do 2 hours of yoga class with my yoga class that I teach. I do 2 hours of basically gaming and streaming with my friends. I do 2 hours, or like, it doesn't have to be 2 hours. It could be like, oh, I do 3 hours of just, you know, being able to, like, post on my social media and stuff. Like, all these different things. I feel like it's gonna be like people are gonna have, like, so many things that we view as businesses, but they're not a businesses. They're an extension of the self. It's gonna be like your own personal brand without you having to say it's a business. Because the concept,
it's gonna displace jobs. Then, you know, in this case, it would be like,
I think it's gonna displace jobs, but it's gonna displace jobs in a way we don't know what a job is anymore. I think that's what's gonna happen. Because, like, when you go into the future, they're like, "What's your job?" And it's like, "A what?" It's like, "A job. What's your job?" It's like, I don't know. What are you talking about? It's like, I mean, what do you do to earn income? It's like, oh, like, I have my AI, like, sell this product. I'm very passionate about this thing, like going to the gym, so I have my AI post my, like, gymming videos on Instagram, or, like, whatever browser it is, or whatever, you know, like, see, like, when I think of the future, I remember what I just said about my prediction. There won't be any web browsers, there won't be any websites. It's just like, it's like, I want to see what Peter's doing right now. It's like, oh, he's doing the gym, or it's like, oh, he's, like, doing a real life streaming on, like, walking around, like, New York City or something, you know, this sort of thing. And I think people will think of, like, their extension of themselves as, like, the way we think of business, but they're running it as if it is a business, but they're not thinking of it as the term business. They think of it as, like, just there. It's just there. It's a
part of your life.
It's a part of your life, and you're like, wait, what? Like, what's a job? What's a job? What is employment? I don't understand what you mean. like, what do you mean work hard? Like, you know, I'm just doing what feels right. It's like, what's this word hustle I hear you say? Like, what's this? Is that slang for basically saying that, like, people are just rushing? Like, well, what does that mean?
Interesting.
Yeah, that's my vision of it, because like I don't believe there are going to be jobs in the future, but I do believe that the definition of a job is going to go away. That's my prediction of it. Now a lot of people will be like, well, that must be nice, but how will people develop grit? How people will develop the ability to like get up when they fail and all that stuff. But at the same time, like when I hear people make these arguments, it seems as if they're not over from the trauma of their own failures. It seems to come from people that are basically still bitter about them failing. Because like like everybody fails. You should fail because like you learn more from each failure. But whenever I hear people basically say like people should develop grit, people should develop this to better their life because it's so rewarding, it feels as if it comes from a place where it's like they're not over the trauma of their own failures and the impact of that failure had on their life in a negative way. Because usually I hear it from that type of place. I never hear it from like, oh, people won't develop grit because I'm happy. I'm happy, and like when people are happy, they don't talk like that. They don't talk like people are like, oh, people are not developing grit. People are not developing this in their life. I'm doing better than them, but why is it that they're not doing as good as me? Happy people don't talk like that at all. I'm like, what happy person talks like that? Like, I mean, Rainier, do you have people that are happy talk like that? Have you ever heard a happy person say stuff like that? Because maybe
a happy person usually is like in their own lane.
Yeah, like, because like I always kept asking myself that question because like I remember like having friends that would tell me like, oh, you shouldn't think of it this way, or you shouldn't like, you know, I hate to break it to you, Peter, but like something like this, like blah blah blah, like, you know, life is all about survival of the fittest and blah blah blah. But when I hear it, it comes from a place seems like, are you guys over the trauma of like something that failed you in the past or something? Because I hear it from the most downward places, and I can hear it in the person's tone, and I'm like, are you genuinely happy with your life? Like, I don't know if I'm sounding like arrogant when I say that, but like you know, you can tell me if I'm saying if I'm sounding like arrogant when I say that, though.
No, I mean, it's reasonable. I mean,
because I mean, like, even though, like, say, like, I don't have like intense cash flow, right? But I do genuinely feel happy, though. I would have to say I feel genuinely happy.
I think people just have different like definitions of happy. If they probably see your situation, they're like, how can you be happy with whatever you have?
Yeah, like, because like I hear this all the time. It's like you're living with your parents still. You know, like, and like, you know, like, people are not wrong when they say like my parents pay like a majority of my bills, like, because. But if my parents say like, oh, hey, you have to pay your bills, and I'm like, sure, like, you know, like, how much do you need per month? I can give it. I can give that. And if I need to take a part-time job, I have no problem with that. Now, most people would be like, then why don't you do that? And it's like, because I don't need to. Now, I guess that sounds like what? I was thinking of a word. Precocious, like, that might sound precocious of me to say, but at the same time, it's like, I even asked my mom about it. Like, I asked her, like, you know, does it bother you and Dad that I don't do this or that? And they're like, no, not really, because you actually made your money work for you, and like, you know, like, if you wanted to work, we won't stop you. And, you know, they know I stream and everything like that, and like, you know, if the stream doesn't become big, like, I don't have to worry about it. And if I just need money, I just have to sell my investments, and that's it.
Yeah.
You know, like, and obviously, guys, I am not rich. I will say that right now. I am not rich. But at the same time,
it doesn't mean happy, right? Like,
yeah, it doesn't mean happy.
You could be happy. Here's an analogy I always use: is that like when I grew up, right? I had my father's side, my mother's side of like. My father's side, I had my own personal computer. It was like a more luxurious type of place, right? We were kind of like solidly middle class, and my mom's place was more like poverty. Everyone out there was, you know, we were almost like we had to like ration food and stuff like that. And
yeah.
They have like, you know, this much pieces of sausages or whatever.
Yeah.
And yet, most of the fun I've had was with my, you know, borderline poverty side of the family.
Yeah.
It's where, you know, a lot of my cousins were there. A lot of like fun times happened there. Whereas
Yeah.
on my dad's side, I was more lonely. You know.
Yeah, I get that.
So it's just money is only so good as far as like it secures you the basic tenets of life, right? The
It's what you
shelter.
do with the money, I think, is important because a lot of people think, like, I understand why they develop this because it's survival instinct, and I get this. It's like, yeah, you should save money for a rainy day, but like once you saved up to 3 months of like expenses and personal emergencies, you're fine. Like, even if, let's say, you save for 3 months and you save up, like, say, another, let's say, $5,000 for, like, personal emergencies, like cars, right? For, like, the car and stuff. You're good. But if you just keep hoarding your money and you don't make it work for you, then, like, I would have to say, like, why are you making your money just grow less every year? Like,
Yeah.
and the thing of it is that a lot of people are afraid of investing, and I understand because when you invest your money, you're trusting an institution to basically make sure that it doesn't fail. But when you think about it, which is more risky? You spending money on like things that you can just splurge on, like vacations and like furniture that you don't need, or just putting it in, investing it into several like the market or probably like several companies that you believe in, and hopefully they go up, right? Or like, you know, like if you want to buy a house like just to rent out, then, you know, like what's the harm in doing that if you're really into that type of thing? Now, this is not financial advice, but at the same time, it's like this is why people that are in the finance world, they really hate school, because it's like, why didn't they teach us this? And in their head, they think that, oh, it's the government telling the school educational institutions to do this because they want people to be dumb. They want people to not know about taxes.
Right.
And the thing of it is that a lot of people that make money and are entrepreneurs, they think that, oh, I was smart because I actually like question taxes. I actually question the financial system. But at the same time, they bash the educational system, which I get really ticked off at. It's like, you guys say that the education system needs to be improved, but you're not improving it at all. And that's what I get really pissed at, because it's like, y'all love to rail against like memorizing the quadratic formula, and yet you're not changing the institution that made you memorize that. Come on. You didn't even make it better. You didn't even make the education
This is
system
because
better.
they maybe feel like they got there not because of the institution, right? They got there despite the lack of institution, and so
Yeah,
they're
exactly.
like, well, I got there without the institution, so you know.
But the
everyone
way
else
they
can
do,
too.
but the way they say it, like on podcasts and like when they give interviews, they talk about like, oh, I'm the smartest one because I got rich. I didn't need school to do this. But they're trying to make themselves as if they're the new educational elite because I actually got smart because people come to me because they want to be rich. And I'm like, okay. But why is it that Bill Gates and Elon Musk are trying to still prove that they're still smart sauce, even though they dropped out of school? You get what I mean? Because like Bill Gates basically says people should study physics. At the same time, he dropped out of school. So I'm like, where are you going to go with this?
People just get the wrong message. Like, they just see, oh, you know, they drop out of school, or Mark Zuckerberg didn't even finish college, or this and that. And
Yeah. And the thing of it is that I think like a part of them wants to go back, but they don't want to act on it because they feel as if like, oh, I'm a rich person now, so I'm better than going back to school. But they don't. But they don't even teach themselves like on that stuff. Maybe they do educate themselves to a point, like maybe what I'm doing, but they have the money to actually go to an institution and get the education without debt.
Yeah.
They even have the money to pay the experts. To pay the experts to teach them the things that they probably would like to learn on a deeper level. But they don't do that. They don't do that. And yet they're telling everyone to like basically learn that stuff. Or they're telling everyone that I'm an expert at this stuff because I'm rich and I actually went to school for like physics.
Yeah.
So that's where I get a little bit ticked off. Because it's like, okay, the rich person feels like they're missing on something when it comes to academics. But when it comes to an academic, they feel as if they're missing the flame and glory and the money that comes in from being, like, say, a science communicator or someone that popularizes science or mathematics, or any academic field like literature or what else is there? History and stuff. Like, they want the fame and glory to get them. They want their career to define how much money they earn, right?
Yep.
So I feel as if, like, that's the mismatch, where it's like, yeah, I agree that financial education is not being taught, and most tax advisors and tax experts, they will tell you that the taxes are meant to support the rich. It's just meant to support the rich. That's all what the tax code is. You know, like, because we don't know because here's the thing. I do believe there should be a flat tax.
Flat tax, not progressive.
Huh?
Flat tax, not progressive.
Well, here's the thing. There was a book I read. I forgot what it's called. I do believe that every banking transaction should be taxed, but that's the only tax you get. Like, every purchase you make should be taxed.
Like sales tax?
Yeah, like sales tax. Like, every time when the bank has to make a transaction for you, you just pay like a less than 1% tax. Okay. And that goes to everything. Like, but I think that only works if the globe basically agrees on a banking standard, and we have countries that don't have totally different banking standards. So I do believe that we if people are like, oh, let's get rid of the tax code in general, and I'm like, okay, so the only thing that I can see that happening possibly is if an AI is able to control our financial system. That's the only way that I can see that working. A lot of people dream of a day when we don't have to pay taxes, but I think the only way that's going to happen is if an AI is in control of all the financial, veins of the economic system.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting because, like, right now, as a single citizen in the country, you have, like, no influence in tax policy.
Yeah. And
so, essentially, you have no control about your taxes, right?
You don't even know where your taxes are going.
Exactly. So you're forced to pay taxes, and you don't know where your tax money is even going to. I mean, to some extent, you have some idea, but it's like, you don't know the total breakdown of it.
Yeah, like, here's my point, guys. I'm not, like, say, oh, we shouldn't pay tax, or, make less taxes on the rich or anything like that. What I'm saying is that a lot of people that want to get rid of taxes, they don't know how complicated it is to actually get rid of taxes. But the people that basically say we should raise taxes, they don't know the complications of what it means to raise taxes. Because it creates a domino effect that affects the system one way or another, and people hate it when... and they think that the rich people created this on purpose to basically make it seem like, oh, we give the jobs, or we give the security, we give the big economy, what are you going to do about it? Because if you make us fail, then we all fail. Hence, people don't like the big banks because they were too big to fail, quote unquote. Right. So, because, like, if they fail, then they hold everyone else hostage, and they're like, yo, that's not how a free market works. But then there's not really a free market when you think about it, because there's just, like, Wall Street and, like, the rules that basically are given by different government systems. So I'm just basically saying everything in life is complicated, whether you support, like, the government's enforcing policies, or whether you support corporations basically allowing us to have services to actually create fast and efficient society, and that's why life is so complicated. So, like, we could get rid of the tax code, we could get rid of, like, we can make a flat tax, like, so that everyone pays a certain percentage, but at the same time, like, there's always going to be a complicated gray area that kind of, like, ruins it. Because, like, we think it's an easy solution when it's not. Because I can say that AI can solve all these problems, but at the same time, what do I know? I'm not an AI expert. Like, maybe I'm giving AI too much credit, but I think that the way we argue and bicker about these policies, I think that y'all are asking for AI at this point. Because, like, we do nothing but complain about politicians or rich people, so it's like, okay, we'll take them out of the equation. Make an AI do it. Because like, I say this stuff because I feel like this is what everyone's asking for, and I'm not saying that in a very condescending way where it's like, all you asked for, so you deserve the punishment. I'm saying it because it seems like everyone wants an AI to basically say, okay, take the business association with my success. Do with the business side while I do the fun side. Or, like, if I have employees, right? Make sure that my employees are taken care of without me having to take care of them. You take care of them because you have a brain that can actually deal 24/7 on it. Because it's a lot to take care of people. That's why I think with AI, if it's like a global phenomenon, it's not. It's gonna take the place of the jobs that we don't want. President of the United States, or president of whatever country, or president of this company, or like every single management job will be replaced by AI. That's what I think. Because a lot of people don't want those jobs. Nobody wants to be a manager.
Some people like doing. Some people like it, I think.
But at the same, but at the same time, what is their intent to be gaining power, right? Because now we have to put the power, the question of power in question. Because
It's
a lot
just
of people,
more like some people rather like just manage people rather than do the work. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, because like I actually remember watching a like not a podcast, but like an interview with an author. Let me see if I can find it. Like I know I saved one of his books on my Amazon like wish list. Like I have so many books, I don't want to buy too many because like I just love reading stuff so much that. But my parents, every time when I order a book, they're like, "Why do you order so many books?" And they ask, and it's like they're just asking me because I do have a lot of books. But the way they ask it is like, why are you always reading? You don't do anything with the knowledge you're reading. It seems like to me, like the way I hear their tone, it seems like, why are you just reading and like daydreaming? You're not putting the knowledge you have to use.
I agree.
Let me see. I'm trying to find it. I remember he wrote a book and I saved it. Oh, here we go. He wrote the book Corruptible, Who Gets Power and How it Changes Us. His name is Brian, I think Kalas. I think that's his name, Brian Kalas. So, like what he said on on the video I watched, he says that the reason why the wrong people get into power is because there's so many avenues why they get into power. So in other words, like, to get into politics, you have to be a slight narcissist.
Makes sense.
To get into business and to be like a CEO, you have to be a slight narcissist, because you have to like think your goal is better than, say, the welfare of others in some ways. Now, I'm not saying that all CEOs are evil or they're malintent, but at the same time, you have to be a little bit of a sociopath to actually make things work. Like, even online, if you want to be successful as like, you know, a podcaster or even a YouTuber or a Twitch streamer, and I'm calling myself out for this, you have to be a slight sociopath, and maybe I am a slight, maybe I am a slight sociopath. I don't know.
I didn't know that about you, Peter.
Maybe I don't know. But yeah, you have to be a slight sociopath to actually be like somewhat of a leader of like a big organization. So, like, according to him, he believes that we should have like a like, this is probably the wrong term to use because everyone thinks of it as like elites basically controlling the strings, but we need like a government system. He called it a shadow government, to basically made up of regular people to actually do the stuff that politicians do, but they do it in a way where they're not confounded by, you know, what happens if the CEO sees that I'm supporting this policy, or what happens if this country statesman sees that I'm supporting this policy. They don't have any of that baggage. They basically are like, okay, we should have funds for public health care. You would have the regular government, like Congress, like basically vote on it, but let's say they do like filibusters and stuff, right? So they hold the vote out, but then the news could probably go to the quote unquote shadow government, or the government made of citizens, as like, well, you guys have been arguing in Congress for about months about this policy, but the people that are part of the government, that are part of the citizenry, they came up with a solution and they voted weeks ahead of you guys. What is going on? So
useless.
It's a way to basically say, hey, yo, we don't need y'all if you're gonna do this. If you keep doing this. Like, so I think AI is gonna take the place of that. Because it's like, it's putting people accountable if they want to be able to be in this space of power. And I think the truth of the matter is that if people in power see that there's no point in being in public service anymore, then AI might as well just take it. And the only way that we humans get a say is if we vote globally in this in the AI system, because I think the only thing that we can't take away from the AI system is voting.
Globally.
Like a global vote. And like, you know, like I know I've kind of like made blockchain technology kind of like my staple of saying that it's unhackable, but obviously not everything's unhackable. But I do believe that with blockchain technology, everyone's social security number, like identity theft will be a thing of the past. That's what I believe. Because everyone's social security number, I believe it will be like people hate NFTs, but I believe it will be like the global NFT that will allow you not to face identity theft ever again. It's the same thing with your passport. Like, if your passport was an NFT, it will basically be on the blockchain, and you will not suffer identity theft ever again, in my personal opinion.
Interesting.
I mean, in the way people get their identity stolen now. That's what I mean. There might be a way, but at the same time, I feel as if it's not going to be the ways that we're used to now. You get what I'm saying? Because a lot of people can get their passport stolen. A lot of people can get their social security number stolen. All that other stuff. And I believe that, like, you know, with blockchain technology, we'll be able to have our information in our hands. That's what I think. And I think that's why, like, a lot of people love blockchain technology, especially Jamie Dimon, who's against Bitcoin. He doesn't like Bitcoin, but he likes blockchain technology, and I'm like, okay.
JP Morgan guy?
Yeah, the head of JP Morgan.
Yeah.
Jamie Dimon. He doesn't like Bitcoin, but he likes blockchain technology. And a lot of people like and I think a lot of the CEOs like blockchain technology because, one, it's like you can't hack it the regular means. You can't have a central server to attack. And two, like, everyone's information is encrypted, like, in a ledger that everyone can see. So, and plus it's faster. This is why stablecoins is becoming a big thing for, like, people in Wall Street, because it's been an update for the financial system for over 100 years.
Yeah, definitely is a revolutionary thing, for sure. I mean, there's been a lot of revolutionary things that happen in our lifetime, including the rise of the internet and all that, and then social media. And then the popularization of anime and stuff like that. Now it's like mainstream.
Oh, it looks like Lauf Bell is joined us. Hi, Lauf Bell.
Hello.
Brains does not compute finance talk. No, it's fine. It's fine. Like, because the thing of it is that me and Rainier are just basically just chatting. This is our second Monday podcast, so, like, thank you for joining us today.
It is totally the second Monday, by the way. Totally.
Yeah, sure. Like the thing of it is that that's why we were debating on the name before, because we were thinking, like, I called it the second Monday podcast because I think that's what we agreed upon, but at the rate we're going, like,
thoughts.
There was like another name I thought. I was gonna think of calling it the Say Thought podcast, because I remember the meme of, like, you know, like, the term say what, like, but I thought, like, Say Thought podcast. I was thinking of something like that, but at the same time, like, I think Rainier, it didn't flow with Rainier, so we kept it as the second Monday podcast, even though we stream, like, we try to stream every second Monday every month. But sometimes we have to do something, and we're not able to make the second Monday, so sometimes we do the third Monday, which we're lucky to hit, because there hasn't been a month where we missed 2 Mondays at once. So, so, you know, it's either second or third Monday, so sometimes we make a joke and basically say like, it's the welcome to the third Monday podcast. And it's not even an original name. We just decided to call it that because we didn't know what else to call it. And like even with every podcast, I don't know what to put the title because we always talk about either the same things or we talk about something different, but it leads into the same conversation. So, you know, because like I probably talked about like blockchain and like cryptocurrency like more than enough times on this podcast, but I try not to make it into a finance channel because I don't want to be responsible for like if I get a sponsor and basically say, oh, you should get this, they're a sponsor of the show, but then suddenly they do something stupid and then like, oh, you guys lost money, oh, I'm so sorry, and everything like that. I don't want to be responsible for that. Absolutely not. But then again, like, you know, I ask myself, do I want sponsors? And the question is like, I feel like that carries more baggage than it's worth. So, you know, like, I mean, like, you know, the government already got rid of like public broadcasting, so I'm like, yo, like,
yeah.
I might as well basically have my own tag that basically is like funding for this program is brought to you by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and for support from viewers like you. Something like that. Like I'm just saying that, right? Like we're not funded by the what is it, the company for public broadcasting. Yeah, you be like crypto and Squid Games. A lot of people get out to get them. Yeah, because like the thing of it is that I know like I think crypto is just a new thing, so I feel as if like a lot of people are still suspicious of it, and I don't blame them for it. Like I didn't get into it until my dad asked me about it, and you know, when I started looking about the history of Bitcoin, I was like, oh, that's interesting. So I thought, you know, I guess I might as well join my dad when it came to it, and we just tried it out, and you know, it worked out for us so far. So like, you know, like my dad like basically enjoys it more than I do because he's retired and it gives him something to do. So, you know, like he loves trading, so I guess like for him, he just loves the trade.
Does he
of
do
it.
day trading or just like swing?
No, I think he just basically looks at the data and he's like, okay, I'll sell on this day, or you know, that sort of thing. For him, I think he just looks at the patterns and he's like, okay, probably this is a sell day for me, or like probably today I'll buy some of this or something like that.
There's so much patterns out there, right? Like they got the MC.
Oh yeah, like I did an online course on what is it, like trading, and I was like, wow, there's so many patterns in it, and I'm like,
yeah,
how can
what
you?
Is it like? There's like a double cup and handle. There's a
god candle. There's like a head and shoulders. I'm like,
head and shoulder.
This pattern shouldn't tell you that this is gonna happen. That's not guaranteed, because if you know this and every trader knows this, what's gonna stop the whales from actually making you think it's gonna do this pattern when it actually does something else?
Yeah.
That's what I'm like. No, I can't do it. I can't do trading at all. That's the thing I don't want to do. It just feels like it's too much of a headache. My baby cousin is into finance and gaining wealth with Bitcoin. Yeah. He invests our money into Bitcoin for us. Oh, nice.
Oh, wow, interesting.
Well, I wish you luck with with that, because like the thing of it is that like, you know, that's a big risk, but
you guys pool your money for your cousin.
I mean, like if it happened like a while ago, then like, you know, you guys should be in profit right now.
Yeah, because Bitcoin's been up. It's breaking like highs constantly.
Yeah, because I started investing in it in 2019. So for me, I know I'm already in profit.
Oh my god, you are freaking 10x. I don't know how many x's.
Usually, like within 4 years, you would see like gains, like with Bitcoin. But a lot of people don't like it because it's volatile, and I get it, because like you want it to behave in a stable way, because you want to make it predictable. But at the same time, like markets, when they crash, they're not predictable at all.
You really invested in 2019? That is insane.
Yeah.
That is so much. You're like up so much.
Well, I'm not rich though. Like let's be clear.
Unfortunately, because it all depends on your initial principal seed as well.
Yeah. I'm not rich, guys. I will say that for sure. But I am okay. I'm okay. Like if I have an emergency, I can basically like sell some of my assets.
Yeah.
Now I bet a lot of people are gonna say, "Must be nice." Must be nice.
Must be nice.
No, like like if you're having a hard time, like for me, like if I were like rich and I had the ability, I would basically say, hey, I'll be charitable for like certain causes, right? I mean, like the thing of it is that when you're charitable, it's a tax write-off, but in addition, it's like I think that's why rich people become rich, because it's like they want to give the people that they know that are worth it. But at the same time, they know that there are going to be people that are leeches, and they really will try to make them feel guilty about not being charitable to them. You know what I'm saying? I gotta go back to work. Oh, no problem, Lupel. Thanks for coming in. We probably are gonna end. Yeah, we're probably gonna end it soon because it's like 10:15, and I know Rainier has a strict schedule to keep up, unless he wants to keep talking more.
I can do like 5 more minutes, maybe.
5 more minutes? Okay. Yeah. Well, we'll keep talking then, because like I enjoy talking to Rainier because he's like one of my close friends.
Oh, one topic I do want to this is kind of like a hard switch, but I don't know if I've ever talked to you about there was a big scandal in the VTuber world with Iron Mouse and
oh yeah, I heard about that. That was ridiculous. I'm like,
they had a charity. So like I kind of remembered it earlier when we were talking about Connor doing like the bike to Japan thing, because he was raising it for like this foundation, right? Like the something.
Yeah.
And like they stole like the charity money that Iron Mouse was doing during the marathons.
That was like scummy thing to do.
Right?
Yeah, and the thing of it is that that's the reason why I think like the idea of like corporate entities are going to disappear with AI, because of this crud. Because it's like, say if you're an artist and you put your face on camera, like a company can gain license just to basically have your face on camera for like doing it on, like if you were doing the stream sponsored by them, right? They can claim ownership of that video or that stream you did. And you're like, no, that's my stream. What are you doing? And it's like, sorry, the law says I am legally obligated to actually have that as mine now. And that is really messed up. And I think a lot of people really don't like their work being taken by some entity that they have no control over. So, like, I think, like, also, like, I understand with trademark, like, with copyright and trademarks and stuff, I think in the future, those are going to go away because it's become so cumbersome for these companies, because it's like, not only for the companies, but also the people that are fans of these products. Like, say if you're a fan of anime, for example, right? You can't get a copyright, you can't, like, be in, like, the anime YouTuber space without having copyright issues. At all.
Oh, yeah.
And that is the most ridiculous crap, because it's like...
They always have to, like, ask for permission.
They always have to ask for permission, and it's usually the companies, because there's... because the company CEOs are just so traditional that it's like, well, you didn't pay us. You didn't pay us to use our product. You didn't pay us to say you were gonna make money off of our, like, show, or of talking about our show. So where's our cut? And a lot of people, like even artists that sing songs, right? They love it when people use their music, but the companies that did the producing and stuff, they hate it when people do that, because they just want to be giving a slice of the pie, even though it's like a little bit. But they try to like sue people that just are fan of their work, and it's like, why? You know, because like I'm just trying to make a living, and I'm a fan of your work, so why is it that you're saying that I have to pay to be a paid worker fan for you? You know? That doesn't make no sense. And like I understand, because a lot of people put a lot of work into production, and a lot of people pay people to make the production work and make the music work, or make the anime work, or animate the anime. But at the same time, I feel as if like, because heads of corporations that own the projects do this type of stuff, I feel as if like with an AI, there's like a cryptocurrency out there called I think it's called Audius. I think that's what it's called. Don't quote me on that, guys. But what it does is that, let's say an artist makes a video, makes a music, right? Makes a song, right? They put their song on the internet through like making it an NFT. Every time when someone plays that music and they love that music, let's say they put it on stream, or if I'm streaming and I play their music, automatically a cryptocurrency would go to the artist. And the more that music is played, the artist will get paid instantly.
Oh, that's
from the blockchain. So they don't even need an agent anymore.
Yeah.
That's literally what's gonna happen. I believe that because of these instances, like, there will be no such thing as, like, copyrighted issues, because everyone's gonna be relying on AI to basically pay them for their work throughout the internet. Because if it's on a blockchain, then basically all their videos, all their music, all their stuff that's on, like, a video and stuff, it's all gonna be redistributed to the right people that made it.
Yeah, no more freaking, like, being able to embezzle money and take it for yourself, yeah? Like, the AI should be able to, like, respect.
Yeah, I know a lot of people don't like
contracts.
it. I know a lot of people, especially gamers, don't like NFTs because it's mainly gamer specific. But if you don't think of NFTs as just specific to games, and you think of NFTs as, like, say, like your social security number, or like your passport, or like your ID, if it's on a blockchain, then basically it won't be able to, like, be hacked, like in the normal means that we hack information today.
Yeah.
So, like, let's say you put let's say you put one song out there and you put it on a blockchain. Basically, you put the song on a block that basically says, hey, so-and-so sang this song. And then say someone like, oh, I like this song. This song actually goes to another block and basically says, hey, so-and-so played your song. You get paid, like, you know, let's say a couple cents for that song. Let's say if you get paid 50 cents per time your song is played on the internet, and if your song is popular, what happens? Let's say 100,000 people played it, and it's 50 cents. Let's do the math here. Then multiply that by 50 cents. You just made 50K right there. You just made your own royalties with that. You just made your own royalties without having an agent to represent you, without a corporation or producer to represent you. Because you actually are able to record in your own house. Now, I know I'm probably making rainbows and unicorns out of this, but that's the way I view the future. Because I believe that all these third parties, whether it be Western Union, or whether it be music producing companies, or whether it be movie producers, they're not going to exist. Everything's going to be crowdfunded. or AI funded. Based on what everyone wants. So if AI was in charge and, like, you know, basically dominated the market, people would probably get what they want, a free market. That's my point of view, because AI doesn't have any profit gainability from it. Quote unquote.
True.
Let's see. Is that similar to NFTs, SP? That I'm not sure about. Like I said, I'm not an expert. So this is why I would say do your own research. But for me, this is how I feel, and this is how I can communicate it with. But, you know, like I said, do your own research. This is why, like, I guess for the crypto space, I understand why people have suspicions of it, and I don't blame them. But think about it, like, there's this cryptocurrency I know, and this is not investment advice or anything, but there's this cryptocurrency called Theta. It's basically the YouTube of crypto, where it's like you watch a video and you get money for watching it. You're basically getting Theta tokens just by watching a video.
Wow.
Like, there's even a cryptocurrency called BAT, where basically, like, every ad you watch, like, every ad that a company puts out on a video, every time when you watch an ad, you get paid a couple cents for it. What money does that? What money does that? You're getting paid just to put your attention on an ad that probably lasts for 15 seconds. So basically, like, the whole space is like monetizing your own menial task. I've never seen a space that does that. A lot of people would probably try to, like, oh, what if I just kept ads playing on my computer 24/7? Will I make a lot of money? It's like, no, you won't. You won't make a lot of money doing that. But you can make some money from it, like maybe 50 cents, maybe more to your wallet to get you the coffee at Starbucks. If inflation is, like, nice to you. That's all I can say. But you're making technically passive income just by doing menial stuff. Like, that's all I can say. Is like, that's how I view the future. Is like, money is gonna be much easier to make, but at the same time, it's going to be a lot more opportunities to make yourself an extension. Like, your brand is literally going to be you being yourself. That's usually what I view it as. Now, of course, this could be like 50 or 100 years down the line. And I said 50, 50, not 15. 50. Okay? But then again, technology grows like in an S-curve, so it might blow up like within like maybe like 15 years. I don't know. I'm not an expert. I'm not a futurist. And I'm not a financial advisor. And that's my whole spiel on that. I mean, Rainier, what do you think before we end the podcast for today?
I cannot speak too much regarding cryptocurrency because I don't delve in that at all. I do know a cousin.
Basically, I rely on Rainier to tell me that I'm an idiot.
But basically, me, I'm an old school dividend stock lover, okay? That's all I do. If I can invest in boring ass Coke and Walmart and...
I think it would have been more entertaining for you to tell me that I was an idiot.
No, it's just that I would leave that world to Peter.
No, I'm just probably over optimistic because, like, you know, like a war can happen. You know, like I did say that in the beginning of the podcast. I do believe that an AI, was it an AI? Was it? I just used the word despotopia will happen before the AI utopia happens. So Rainier invested in Coca-Cola and Walmart.
No, actually it's Pepsi, but yeah.
well, we know what team Rainier's on. Yeah, like, you know, yeah, like Rainier, like I think Rainier is like way smarter than me when it comes to things. So, you know, like, and he also is a little bit more cautious. So for me, I'm probably like over optimistic about things because like when it comes to like investing and stuff, like I invest in what I think is gonna happen, but usually with like big tech, like they say that this technology is gonna revolutionize, but you know, more than often it's just gonna be like a middle effect where it's like they make a little bit of gains, but they don't make a lot as much as they sponsor themselves to be, unless they create like something revolutionary, because like no one knew back then, like when I was growing up in middle school, no one knew that Google was going to be a big thing, because I remember growing up with Netscape Navigator.
Netscape, oh my god, that's an old name.
Yeah, and Yahoo. I remember Yahoo and like I remember Netscape. I remember Netscape and I remember Yahoo, and like people would say, "Oh, you're old," and it's like, "Yeah, I'm old, but I accept the fact that I'm an old fogey, but I don't mind walking down with a cane and like accepting my oldness." Like a lot of people will be like, "Yo, why is he act so young when he's like probably like 70?" And it's like, well, you know, like that's how I feel, man. That's how I feel. Because like I'm 35. I'm 35 right now, and I'm gonna be 40 within 5 years. So like for me, like I don't feel old. And like some people, and I love it when people say like, "Oh, you're not that old." Like I love it when people say that, because I'm so used to people saying that I'm old, but I accept the fact that I'm going to accept the roast and basically say like, "Yeah, I'm old. So I'll be your old uncle. I'll be your old uncle, and I'll basically give you the advice while you're like, you're crying about like how like this particular person's not paying attention to you, or this job is not paying attention to you. I'll be just there to basically let you cry on my shoulder." No, you're not. I'm 40, but I give up 25-year-old vibes. Yeah, exactly. It's just basically that. Just yeah, because like a lot of people, when I told them that I was over 30, they thought I was 25 or 26, which was so weird because I never thought I looked that young.
You do look young. Yeah. People mistake me for being younger too.
Yeah. I also look really young since I'm Asian. Yeah, that's true. I'm also like Thai American, so a lot of people assume that I was like, a lot of people assumed that I was either 28 or 25 or 26, and I was like, I didn't think I looked that young. But then again, I do exercise like 6 times a week, so maybe that's helping, I guess. So it's already like 10:30, and I think.
Okay. Yep. That's a good cutoff time. Thank you very much, Peter.
No, thank you, Rainier, for lasting this long. Oh, I sound I think the reason why I sound mature is because I grew up with a lot of relatives that were not near my age.
You do sound mature, Peter, to be honest.
I mean, I never thought of it that way because I grew up with a lot of relatives that, like, my cousins were literally like 11 years older than me. They were over 11 years older than me. I had to learn how to talk to like adults older than me like way early. I think that's why I sound mature, but at the same time it's like I sound very formal whenever I talk to people around my age, and they find that very, very weird. But, you know, like people that are my friends, they are my friends for a reason, and they accept me for who I am. So, I'm comfortable with who I am. Unless I have to fart in public, then that's when I get a little bit aware, because the last thing I want is like people smelling a fart and then suddenly I realize I did it, because I have to own up to it. So Rainier, do you have anything to say to our global audience before we depart?
Well, make sure you guys start staying healthy and live the happiest version of yourselves, and you know, just be
Okay.
kind.
Yep. I couldn't have said it better myself right here. Always be kind to others and show your compassion, because compassion is better than sympathy. I will say that for sure. But thank you for joining us today, guys. For those that are late arriving, you know, like, thank you for joining for us for even for a brief couple seconds. If you're watching this on YouTube, you know, hit the subscribe button in addition to like hit the like button. And if you're watching this after the live stream has aired, you know, put a comment down below and tell us what you would like us to talk about next. If you're on Twitch, you know, hit the follow button. I really appreciate it. And you can also join us on Discord as well. The links will be in the description down below. And yeah, so always remember, guys, everyone is precious. You guys are just as precious as everyone else. And me and Rainier will catch you in hopefully the second Monday.
Hopefully the second Monday.
Hopefully the second Monday, if not the third Monday. So we'll be there. So take care, guys. Bye bye.
Take care. Bye bye.